All right, here we are live. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Hi,
Hopefully
I'm
you
Woody.
can all hear
Oh
us.
yeah, this isn't a reaction.
This isn't.
I was
We're
about
not.
to. Hi,
They know
Woody.
who you are. They know
Okay.
who you are. All right.
Oh, I forgot.
So yeah, congratulations everyone. What an amazing community we've built here. 100,000 subscribers now. Very exciting.
Two things I want to say that I was saving. One, Gus. Thanks, man.
Oh, thank you.
No. Seriously, thanks.
Thank you.
I wanted
Thank
to
you.
say that in front of everybody. I mean, I'm on here, and I'm lucky to be on this channel. I do say this a lot, and I'm not kidding. I don't even feel really worthy, to be honest. I mean, I think what I love about this is I love diving so much. It's just a major part of my life, and somehow, it's led me to a lot of really amazing people. You're one of them, and there's no way this would have happened without you. And I'm just really thankful I get to do this, truly, and I'm really glad I get to do it with you. So
Thank you.
let's
That's
just
awesome.
keep it rolling. I don't think we need
Absolutely.
to stop at 100.
And I do thank you. I agree. I do want to congratulate, obviously, our community. Angel Molina just donated or just did a super chat for $20. Said he
Thank
got the
you.
merch. I actually saw the pictures. He looks awesome.
Really good on him, man.
He looks really good. So thank you, Angel, for
Saw that
the
today.
pictures also on the merch. And thank you, everyone who's getting merch from us. There you go. Getting some sound effects and stuff. That's cool.
Thanks.
You can't really read them because I didn't put them in the right place. But let me see if I can move it so people can see it. I don't know what's the best place. Let's just put it in there and see.
Yeah, that works.
All right. So, I mean, there's so much to talk about, but we also want to answer, your questions. But I think one of the things we wanted to do is announce what the giveaway is.
I've been waiting for this, man. I can't wait for you to announce this. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so we were thinking about, things to do, things to make for the giveaway for 100,000 subscribers. If you remember, for the 50,000 subscribers, we did kind of a game or some kind of a contest. And the contest was for people to make videos like about us, pretending to be us. And they were hilarious. Like, we had a great time doing that. And we thought it was awesome. And so we were thinking about what can we do for 100,000 subscribers. And granted, we have some stuff to give away. Orca Torch and Cheer, everyone wants to chip in and help us and, to give stuff away for you guys. But we also wanted to do another contest. We loved the first one, the 50,000 one. So we wanted to do one for 100,000. So we hope some people join the contest. We hope that we get a lot of entries. Actually,
I really do. This could be epic.
So here's what we're going to do. For the 100,000 subscribers, we are going to make another contest. Anyone can enter that. You have to be obviously a subscriber of Dive Talk, but everyone can enter. And all we're asking is for the best original video for Dive Talk. Like, you guys, I want you to come up with an idea. And obviously it's a contest and you want to win. So don't just be lazy and be like, blow up a jet ski. Like, everyone, keeps
Right.
asking about that. Try to come up with an original idea and also something feasible. Some people are like, yeah, go diving in Titan, the Jupiter moon. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Just
no,
to
we can't do that.
clarify, maybe
Yes.
they understand. But I heard just what Gus is saying is we want you to simply come up with an idea, not make a video, just an
No.
idea. But
For
how
us.
is that idea? Finish the thought. How
Right.
in the world are we going to determine which is the best idea?
Right. So once we get the ideas for Dive Talk videos, we're going to put them up to a vote like we did last time. We're not even going to get to pick the winner. We want our members to pick the winner. So if you're not a member, please consider joining, not only because you help us select winners when we do contests like this, but because you also get to see members only content that we post out. We have several videos that are just for members. We get to do member giveaways like we will do for 100,000. And I see that some people have joined as members while they're here on the live stream. So please do that. If you can see a button if you can see the join button to join as a member, it's because you're on the mobile app. For some reason, the YouTube mobile app doesn't have the button. So just go through the browser or go through a desktop. And you can join. The membership starts at $3. We get to keep I think $1.80 from that every month. It helps us, make videos and do stuff like that. But anyway, let's talk about the winner. So once the winner is selected, the prize for the winner is we will fly you guys in to be on the video with us. You're going to record the video with us.
You're going to be the third character of that video.
Yeah.
And the world then is going to see the video of whoever the winner, whatever your idea was. And which is great because you'll be here and guess what? You can direct us since it was your idea.
Yeah.
Like,
go diving with us.
Whatever your idea is.
And if you're not comfortable with being on the camera, just be the director, right?
Yeah.
Shoot, whatever. We want you to be on a dive talk video from beginning to end. So if you're a content creator, this will be especially, appealing because you get to see how we do it and learn some things maybe.
Now, there's going to be some questions. So, look, we decided that we're capping the flight at $1,000, up to $1,000.
Right.
But when you're here, we'll take care of your accommodations. We got your food covered. You're going to be with us. I don't know if it's going to be a 2-day journey, a 5-day journey. I mean, we have to wait and see what your idea is. But we're going to make it happen. A lot of you have been with us before. I mean, I see Josh is on there. He's commenting a lot. And some of our students have been on with us before on trips. We're pretty much like we are on the videos, I would say. That's who you're going to meet.
I think so.
So I can't wait for this, and I can't wait for your ideas.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, to everyone who's doing a super chat, and I haven't been giving away shout outs. So Flu, I guess, it will be the name of this user. Thank you for your super chat. Also, Blaze, who was the winner of the 50,000 giveaway. He got a Tarek, Shearwater Tarek.
Sweet.
For winning that. I think, Blaze, you were first or second, but I'm pretty sure you won it. And he stopped by Divetronics, which is Shearwater basically, and they showed him our Crystal Cave pictures, and he's giving us.
But
he
only liked yours, by the way.
Well,
I saw that.
He has good taste.
I thought maybe.
Right. So once again,
Gus, yours were awesome. I have to admit.
Once again, we will be giving you guys the ability to submit ideas.
Oh, Doug Ebersalt, didn't mean to interrupt you. He will be the medical support for this video. Doug, Doug. That's a done deal.
That's a gift.
That's like absolutely
the only way we'll do it.
Perfect.
Absolutely. So we'll get together on the video. Maybe we'll have special guests. It all depends on the. I mean, it's your idea.
I think
if your idea is to have Mike on the video,
I'm pretty sure a couple of special guests are going to want to show up for that.
Yeah.
We're not the special guests, by the way. Just to make that clear.
No,
like really special guests.
Right. We're lucky to be there. And then again, once we pick the winner, which will be maybe like a month from now, we will fly you in, all expenses paid, and you can either be on the video with us, participate, join, or just hang out with us for the week.
No, listen, it doesn't have to be dive related. I want to remind you, we're not going to pick the winner.
Right.
Our members are going to pick the winner. So if you come up with an amazing idea that's not dive related, and the members say that's the one that we want you to go with,
to bribe all the members.
I mean, are we shoving Gus through a really tight dry cave crack?
Let's not. That's a horrible idea.
Shoving you through a crack. Like
I will literally create 100 YouTube accounts and make memberships to vote against that.
I've been wanting to see you shoved into a crack for a long time. And
that's dumb.
I'm saying that was my idea. I don't think that one's going to win, but no, seriously, our ideas don't count. Ignore that.
Yeah, let's come up with new original ideas. I want to make a video from a suggestion or an idea from a subscriber. That would be awesome. So
can't wait.
And we'll have, again, some other prizes that we'll give away to second place and third place. The software that I use to edit all of our videos is Camtasia. It's made by a company called TechSmith. TechSmith actually picked me as one of their, I don't think they call it brand ambassadors, just like their special team, whatever. Because they see that we're making a ton of videos and learning from it. And I think they donated 3-year-long licenses for Camtasia, which is pretty cool, and I think they're like $300 each. So
now I'm seeing already. You guys are throwing out a lot of ideas. Like we've got to look. I don't want to censor it at all, but also make it something that we can do,
right?
And make it something we can do here in the United States of America. I'm putting a few boundaries on it. Like I'm seeing a bunch of people. You guys are going.
Make it realistic.
You're going to Chernobyl. Look, we're not right now. We're not going to Ukraine. I'm just saying. Right. So make it realistic where we can get it done. Okay.
Right. I
mean, if we end up in somewhere in the U.S., then that's cool.
Yeah. So like somebody says, go diving in India. I bet that's awesome, but.
That's not.
If we had 10 million subscribers, maybe we could afford to go diving in India, but we can't. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's just answer some questions, right? It's the 100,000 celebration.
That's what we do.
Q&A.
I don't want to change anything, man.
Let's
That's
do that.
who we are.
All right.
All right. There's they're going fast, so.
Yeah, they are. Come to South Africa. I would love to. I've been to South Africa several times. Love that place.
Me too.
What's the American version of Chernobyl?
Can you guys talk about? Oh, I like. There was a real question about bounce diving and the issues that could arise from diving with bounce diving. I'll talk a little bit about it. That's a very big subject, right? We can't really spend the whole show on that because we could. Simon Mitchell does a amazing YouTube video on bounce diving in general, and also on your like M values and what you set your gradient factors to. And I suggest you watch that because he does it in a way that makes you understand bounce diving and gradient factors in a logical way, not in a super technical way. Here's the part that I wanted to add. We all are bounce divers. That's all we do. If you're not a bounce diver, you're a full saturation diver. Maybe somebody on this channel is like an oil rig diver where they fully saturate all 16 tissue compartments and it takes you like a week to come up, but nobody that I know is. So every time you go on a dive and you come back up in a relatively short period of time, especially then when you do a repeat dive and go back down, you're bouncing. And when you're bouncing, that means you're spiking the tissues. How much of the bounce off the bottom can your tissues handle because the gas is expanding out? Nobody knows. Not even with the decompression models. They're theoretical. And they work for most people, but not for everybody. I love Simon because he'll be like, guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm changing my gradient factors to this, and I don't know if that's right. I don't even know if it's good. As a matter of fact, if you ask me, are deep stops good or are deep stops bad? He says, I don't know. Right. But I theorize, I'm logical, I'm rational about this is why I'm doing that now. I know Doug Ebersol has recently changed his gradient factor to a 40-70, so I'm copying Doug. I'm certainly not smarter than him, but understand that in general, when you go down and you do a dive and you come back up, you're bouncing. You're compressing gas into solution and you're immediately expanding it back out. I mean, within 1 hour is basically immediate in the dive world.
Yep.
We don't know much, guys.
Several people asking, where do we send our ideas? All right, I'll come clean. I got to be honest. I never thought we were going to hit 100,000 subscribers this quick. All right? So the logistical part of the contest, I haven't figured it out yet. So for now, let's just, and for now, I'm not going to say for now. Let's just, for this contest, let's do, just email us your idea at info@divetalk.com.
That's good.
So that's our email address. We both get it. We both can check them out. So info@divetalk.com.
And then we'll accumulate them. And I guess what we're talking out loud, everybody. This is live. We'll accumulate them. We need to put a time frame on this. So we haven't even discussed that, you and I, yet.
Yeah.
We'll do that in a second. But once the time frame is over, we'll put like some kind of list with a little brief description of your idea and put it to a vote. And what do you think the time frame should? How long do they have to send us in?
I would love to announce a winner in like a month from now. So let's So let's just do like.
So what? Let's pick a calendar day right now. Let's pick.
Yeah. Okay.
Today is the 7th.
Yeah. Just give it like a week for voting.
April.
Let's announce a winner April 1st.
How about April? It's clean and easy. April 1st.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, thank you. We've had some people that have joined as members and some super chats even while we're talking like this. Okay. So it's April 1st. Send us your idea.
So let's say we put the ideas for voting on like March 24th, and then we announce the winner on April 1st. Let's go with that. And I have no idea if these are Sundays or Fridays. I don't know. That's
hard. That's okay. Tricky to remember.
Yeah. So March 24th is a couple of weeks from now. A little bit over 2 weeks. So think of good ideas.
That's April Fool's Day, somebody said. Okay, yeah. Well, that's that's perfect.
Great.
Yeah. That's kind of a good twist.
Yeah. But yeah, just submit one idea, guys. So just your best idea, because I know that's going to be another question. They probably already asked. I haven't seen it. Some people will be like, how many submissions do I get? Just pick one, your best one, and go with it.
Thank you, Austin. Yep,
Yes.
That's April Fool's Day. That just, you know what? That's par for the course, isn't it, for us at Dive Talk? Whoa,
Yes.
That's perfect. I like that it's April Fool's Day.
What was the email? info@divetalk.com. info@divetalk.com. And you can find that email address also in our profile. If you go to our YouTube profile and go to the About, I think, section or tab, there is an email address in there, and that's the same one.
Hey, Amanda, your question is, forgive me, this is probably a weird question. It's not. We get it often. Can pregnant women dive? Let me tell you what the dive agencies say, and we're not doctors. They say that the dive decompression models are not built for the living human inside of you.
Right.
We don't know what is going on with their tissues, with their nitrogen load.
So no.
So the answer, I've never heard anybody say yes, but the why behind it is they simply don't understand the effects on your baby.
Yeah, I mean, and we answer this question, by the way, on a podcast. We don't have a video for it, but if you listen to the Dive Talk podcast, which you can get to by going to divetalkmedia.com, it will put you right on our podcast. I think it was episode 10 with Doug Eversole. I had 10 medical questions about diving, and Doug answered them all. One of them was, can you dive when you're pregnant? He goes into way more details. All I remember is, no, you cannot do that.
And that's the why, is what I just answered, is that's the basic why.
Yeah.
Yep, we do want to go to Norway, guys. A lot of you throughout the whole year have been inviting us to come to places. That's really our goal. Look, a dream. I was just texting Gus earlier today, or talking to him on our motorcycle ride yesterday. We went on a 3.5-hour motorcycle ride that I would love, and he would love. What if this was us full time?
Yeah.
Like, maybe someday, I don't know how long it would take, we could be full-time YouTubers. But in order to do that, we've got to grow. We've got to generate more revenue. And we want to dive in all of our subscribers' places. You guys are from all over the world.
Didn't say hole. That was good.
Well,
good holding that back.
Many holes.
That's.
Oh, you mentioned a new hole we may hit tomorrow. Yesterday you said, I want to hit that one for sure. That's going to be awesome.
All right.
Which Mike Young may join us on.
Yes. Let's see. Robin had a good question. She asked, what if multiple people have the same idea? I mean, I don't know. I think because they're original ideas, it will be hard for two of them to be exactly the same. But, whoever adds the most details, I guess, is the one that we're going to put up for a vote. If somehow 2 or 3 people have the same exact idea, whoever adds the most details on, this is how I envision this video to be, that's the one that's going to go up for a vote.
There you go.
Yep. Let's see. What else do we have?
So many of you have said comments, and I like these, that you fell in love with diving and you're now either getting ready to take your open water class or recently become certified. And, I never knew that this channel would help increase the number of people becoming certified. But I've said this many times, I think that's one of my favorite outcomes from this channel.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Somebody says, I fell in love with holes because of Woody. That's a poor way to...
Maybe we could share a hole, at some point.
Dude.
What? That's not bad. I'm saying dive in a hole to hit that thing together. There's so many amazing... I don't know why I don't get it.
It sounds weird. Don't say it like that.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, wow. There's so many cool holes. I just dove a hole, and it was paradise. As a matter of fact,
right.
It's called Paradise.
Paradise Spring,
hole,
yeah.
Spring. And it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Just hit that one this weekend.
Okay. Somebody's asking, why are siphons more dangerous than springs?
Go ahead. Tell them.
Well, because siphons, unlike springs is water coming in from inside the earth and pushing out into a river of some kind or a body of water. So when you're diving on a spring, you're diving against the flow. And if you have a problem or something happens, you're always, being pushed by the flow on the way out. So that's great help if you have a problem. On a siphon is the opposite. So on the siphon, the water is pushing you deeper and deeper into the cave. So if you have a problem and you want to come out in a hurry, now you have to battle against the flow, and that's a big issue, right? If you can overcome that, if you're tired, if you have a CO2 hit, you're breathing quick or whatever, you may never be able to get out of that cave. So
that's right. And Heidi said they suck you into the hole.
That's right.
That's right, Heidi. And listen, sea caves can turn into siphons. So as Gus just explained perfectly, you start off in a sea cave and the current, the flow, is taking you out of the cave. That's like a spring. But then all of a sudden, if the tide changes and you're inside of a sea cave, it can be like a river flowing at you.
Yeah.
You could get trapped. So sea cave diving is very tricky.
Yep. Absolutely.
How did we meet? We met by through diving, and Gus became I guess a customer at Sea Ventures where I teach, and he wanted to, at a very fast pace, go all the way up through the ranks and become an instructor, which he did, and then he wanted to become a tech diver, and I got to dive with him a ton and be his instructor.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Will you dive in Europa, the moon in Jupiter, which is...
I wish.
Come on.
I mean...
I wish. Okay. Will you guys ever try to go diving for gold in Alaska? No, we're not gonna go diving for gold.
Yeah, probably. I don't know when Gus and I will do that one, but yeah. So he meant yes. Yep.
Most dangerous thing that has happened to you while diving?
You can go because I've answered mine a lot, and I'll answer it again. And it, by the way, it happened to, and I knew exactly what was going on. One of my students this past week. I won't say which one.
Really?
Same thing that happened to me, and Doug Ebersol was there when it happened to me. The same thing. So immediately I knew what was happening to him. But you want me to go first while you're thinking?
Yeah. Yeah, you can go if you want.
Mine was at about 100 meters, 330 feet underwater. When I went to, I had to bail out. I think it was a bailout drill, actually. The means you got to come off the loop and go onto a open circuit regulator. And when I purged it, it's wet. The regulator was breathing wet. It fired a pellet of water down into my throat. Now, what that does is it shuts down your body's natural reaction as a defense mechanism is to shut down your breathing, because it's like, oh no, I'm not letting you breathe water. You're going to drown, so I'm not going to let you breathe. And you're like, and then you have to slowly and it slowly comes back. And it happened to my student this week, the same thing. And I'm like, It's okay.
Wow.
I know what's happening. And after I talked to him about it, and he's like, yeah, that's happened to me before as well. I said, dude, that's why I sat right next to you, and I was like, wow, I know exactly what's going on with you. So at 330 feet to have your air shut down internally, and you hope your body opens that back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
But that reminded me, I guess, of my scariest moment, if that's a thing. I was doing my Trimix class with Doug as well, and we had to bail out from over 200 feet, deeper than 200. So I bail out from 200, and as I start making my ascent, at like 180 feet, my regulator stops working. So like I literally ran out of air at 180. So I wish it was a pellet and hard to breathe. No, I had no air.
Okay.
Zero. So I had to deal with that, and obviously I made it. But that was, I guess.
What did you do, by the way?
I just bailed back into the rebreather.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Because your O2 was working, right?
Right.
There you go.
So I just finished the whole dive on the rebreather, and then, we had to figure out what the problem was. But I guess that was the scariest, but it wasn't scary. It was sort of like, okay, I ran out of air. I wasn't planning on it. Now I have to fix it, and you have like 30 seconds or whatever because you're holding your breath. So what do I do? And, going through that whole process. But, in retrospect, when you think about how deep I was, that was the scariest. But it wasn't scary at the moment.
But it shows because that your training kept you from being panicked, I think is the right word.
Right.
You just dealt with it. Like, what's logical? You thought, well, by the way, I have a rebreather. I can go back on the loop, and I'm going up anyway.
That's right.
that training kicks in.
Yeah.
It keeps a lot of these scary moments from being. It's not that they're scary, but you don't panic through them.
Right. And obviously, it helps that Doc was there. He was my instructor, and he's very attentive. So he's like, "Do you need me? What do you need?" And I'm like, "I got it. I'm back on the rebreather."
And all was good.
And we were good. Yeah.
Thank you, Moshu.
Yeah.
Thank you for
chat.
the super chats. Thank you in
Have
general.
you
for
all
those.
dived on the U.S. Virgin Islands? I have not.
Yes, I have dove the U.S. Virgin Islands many times, but I actually prefer, like if I'm over in St. John's diving, I prefer than to get a boat, rent my own. Man, the diving escalates when you just go a little ways further and go into the BVIs. I think it's far superior.
Yeah. Somebody asked me, it's like, why didn't I not have enough air when I bailed out? I had enough air, just the regulator stopped working. That was the problem. But the tank was full, obviously. Let's see.
Do you guys prefer
saltwater or freshwater diving? Yes.
Love them both. I mean, they're both epic. I think the most excited I still get is when I'm diving some like really deep wreck, and I can't help but get really excited if we're talking about diving a deep wreck with a lot of lionfish on it, because we do have a blast when we're hunting those.
Awesome.
But boy, some of the cave diving is in fresh water. They're just spectacular. Although the prettiest caves in the world, the crystal caves of Abacos, are you break down below the halocline level and you're in saltwater. So it's hard to pick a favorite.
There's a couple of questions here. I'm going to try to answer them quickly. What dive watches do you guys wear? We wear dive computers, even though I like watches. Dive watches in particular, I still don't dive with them. I dive with dive computers. Somebody else asked.
I'm wearing my favorite, which is a Tarek.
The Tarek, yeah. And your only one, right? Let's see. There was another question that I wanted to answer really quick.
Any ice caves?
But one thing I wanted to mention is a lot of people have reached out to us after today's video wanting to send us candy, because we did the toxic waste on today's video. If you haven't watched it, you should check it out. We ate, one of the world's sourest candies on our last video. It was intense. So people ask us like, well, do you think that's sour? Let me send you something.
Really?
Yeah. So I've been giving away our address, our mailing address, and it's now, you can see it on the screen right there. If you want to send us something, that's our mailing address.
Okay.
By the way, a shout out to, I don't remember her name, but we got this humongous box. Look at this, of snacks. She was like, hey, I want to hook you guys up with some snacks for recording the video. I already opened and ate most of them. Woody didn't even try it, but thank you for doing that.
I may have to hit those Cheetos during this live stream.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a good question. Can you explain the procedure for maintaining and adjusting PO2 in zero visibility? You cannot see your computer screens. Congrats for the 100,000. So, yeah, I do want to do that. I want to answer that. Here's the thing. You should always know your PO2, even if you can't see it. And what I mean by that is, if you're in zero visibility, you should know how many breaths it's going to take to bring down that PO2 to a number that you then would want to do a dill flush, because that's a known gas. Hit the dill button until you can see the computer again and know what that would bring it up to, which is called semi-closed rebreather mode. So if you're diving, you're in the cave, you can't see your computer, you know right before seeing it you were at 1.2. I know I can do about 30 breaths before I would need to flush it with dill to bring it back up or make it safe again. And I learned that from Ed Sorensen.
Yep.
He's like, I don't know. Do you know how the unit is working for you at all times? And that drill of understanding based on your metabolic rate, based upon how quickly you're consuming the O2 and then needing to dill flush it, is very important. And I teach that a few times in my rebreather classes. I make them understand that exactly what I just described. And so I hope that answers the question.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of super
I do
chats.
remember the previous question was, can you take the rebreather loop out of your mouth on the water without it flooding? The answer is yes.
If you close it.
If you close your rebreather. There's a switch on it that allows you to close it, take it out of your mouth. It's actually a skill that you learn on your first rebreather class, which is if you hear gurgling, you have to take it out and do over your head and dump it back into your canister. So then you can put it back in, open the loop, and then you're back on it again.
Now you can, and it's a skill, but I'm afraid to do it. I know Doug does it. I don't do this with my students. You can take the loop out of your mouth and turn it where the mouthpiece is facing down and burp it. Basically, and it's actually a prescribed skill in the IANTD learning slates. You quickly open and close it and it burps out gas. Now, why would you ever do that? Well, you may need, if you, for example, are in a situation where you're having a bad situation and you need to be off the loop, right? You need to be on open circuit and you got to get rid of all that gas out of the counter lungs because it's making you fly up and you want to do it really quickly. You burp it. You burp that gas out. Another way is just to squeeze the counter lungs and make it fire out your overpressure valve. So
Yeah.
I don't do that one because let's say I have them burp it and they do it wrong and it flooded their unit and their sensors out. I can't finish the class.
Some people ask if they want to do courses with us, how can they do that? You know, we're not full-time instructors, scuba instructors, but we do teach out of Sea Ventures in Alpharetta, Georgia. So just reach out to them and ask when we'll be teaching next, and you can sign up for a course there. I saw another question. Somebody asked, is side mount steel 117 cubic feet a good size? I guess it all depends on your dive and what you're doing. I'm not a side mount diver other than when I have to bail out. Then I become a side mount diver, but I'll let somebody else with more expertise, like newly minted instructor Joshua Underwood, who's on the chat. He's a side mount diver. Maybe he can answer better.
And I've done some side mount diving. I mean, that's a big tank.
Yeah.
So for somebody like me, 117 cubic foot steel tank, whoo, that's huge.
That's massive.
I mean, to stand up and get off the boat, I would have to hook those babies out in the water.
Just drag
So
me.
you got to think about when you say, is it a good sized tank? What I would say to you, what's your dive objective?
Right.
How much gas do you need based on the dive you're going to do on your surface air consumption rate? It's not a matter of good. What are you doing? And you need to know how to calculate your gas needs.
Yep.
That is a in my rebreather classes, that is a absolute mandatory skill. You will calculate your gas needs based on bailing out.
Somebody asked, is advanced open water enough to experience cave country? Obviously not to go inside the caves, but there's a couple of places in cave country where you can go diving. Like you mentioned, Paradise Springs, which is a little bit away. It's in Ocala. But you can go to the Ballroom at Ginny Springs, which is a massive cave system. You can do Blue Grotto. You can do, Devil's Den. There's a few places there where you can go as an advanced open water and enjoy it. But obviously, if you want to enjoy it for real, you want to be a cave diver.
Yeah, I see a lot of people trying to answer LP85s are perfect and so forth. Just be careful about that. It's not a matter of what's perfect. It's a matter of what I said. What gas do you need to carry for the dive that you're doing? We happen to typically dive on LP50s on our Sidewinder rebreathers for the type of diving that we're doing, and that satisfies our gas needs.
Have you guys ever done Beaufort Spring?
I just literally got back, taught 2 students this past week. I was in Beaufort Springs on Friday. 3 1-hour dives I just did with my 2 students there. And that is one gigantic cavern. Down at the bottom at the sand, it's just past 140 feet. So to have a cavern that deep is great.
Awesome.
Because I was also at the same time teaching what's called advanced recreational trimix on the Rebreather.
Yep, awesome. So what do you do if somebody blacks out in front of you? You bring them out.
I mean, that's CPR. So
Yeah, bring them out of the water. Have you ever, somebody asked, what's the coldest we've ever dived in? Iceland for me.
Yeah. I guess it would be a close call between Iceland and then the ice diving class I did with Doug Ebersol, which was under ice.
When I went to Iceland,
Freezing.
it wasn't frozen like you, but it was snowing, so it was pretty cold.
So below 32 Fahrenheit, certainly. I mean, we dove in a completely frozen lake, and we had to cut open the triangle, and yeah, it was really cold.
Thank you, Matt, for your super chat.
Wow.
Are you guys going to post your crystal cave dives? Yes.
Yep.
Once the editor-in-chief of this channel edits the videos.
Yeah, I was the photographer, And I gave him, I believe I gave him 88 videos. So that's a lot to go through. And obviously, he's just going to pick out highlights, and then we'll react to those.
Yeah.
They're beautiful, some of them. Some of them are horrible because I was the photographer.
Yeah. We have to edit that. We need, yeah, get after it. Let's see. Some questions. Congrats from the Netherlands. Thank you. We have people from all over the place. How do you guys know Aki? I think he's talking about the place in Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yeah, they're
Aki,
good.
the diving. Yeah,
they're good.
Cool.
This is a good question. What do you do if you have lots of deco and freezing water and your dry suit floods? Can't have a backup for that. Misery.
Yeah.
That is a very bad situation. It's a very good chance you are going to go hypothermic. You probably are going to have to be warmed when you get out. You got to be careful about active warming, like too quickly warming them. They can have a heart attack. That is a horrible, horrible situation to be in. So what do? You just hope you can revive them when they get out. Honestly, that's a bad situation.
I want to answer this question with a funny anecdote from our trip to the Bahamas. Somebody asked, how long can you stay underwater with a rebreather? So the answer is, depending on how much sorb you have, because there's a ton of rebreathers, they all have kind of like a run time. For us, because we use 5 pounds of sorb, we typically want to do about a 5-hour dive. However, Ed Sorensen told us that those rebreathers can run for up to like 11 hours with that sorb. That he's tested it himself, and they can run for like 11 hours. We never push it. You know, sorb is not that expensive. We dive for like 5 hours, and we dump it and get a new one, right? But the anecdote is, we're in the Bahamas a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if you remember this once I tell you the story. We're in the Bahamas. So typically, the way we got set up in the Bahamas, I'll try to do it as quick as possible, this story, but it's funny. The way we got set up in the Bahamas is there's like a ledge, and Woody was always like closer to the steps, right? Because it was more shallow, and I was always kind of like behind Woody. I was a little bit deeper. So whenever it came to starting the dive, I would always start first. So there was one of the dives, I think it was the dive to Fangorn Forest, actually, where I go underwater first. And I'm like, okay, guys, I'll see you at 20 feet. Because there's something we do at 20 feet. We do a 1.6 check, to test the rebreather. So I just wanted to get to 20 feet and test. So I go down there. I don't know what happens. Woody always liked to stay with Brian until Brian was ready, which is, I think, the right thing to do.
Well, I'm making sure that he goes through his checks with me.
Right.
As his buddy.
Yeah. So I'm underwater at 20 feet for like 8 minutes or something by the time you guys get down. 8 to 10 minutes, something like that. You remember it now. It's coming to you. So when we started the dive, I've been already diving for like 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. So we do the dive, the whole Fangorn Forest dive, whatever. It's a super long dive. And when we get back and we do our deco, my computer hits 3 hours. It says 180 minutes.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, I just did a 3-hour dive at the Crystal Caves in the Bahamas. And I show it to Woody, and Woody looked at his computer, and he's like, I don't know, like 170 or whatever. So he just looks at me, looks at his computer, and just gives me a middle finger. I'm like
you.
And I'm like,
that
what?
Was funny. I was happy for him, but
that was hilarious.
I was giving him a funny moment. He laughed underwater. I saw him laughing.
I almost flooded my loop laughing so hard.
That was funny.
So yeah, we just came out, and my dive was 3 hours and 1 minute, I think. And Woody's dive was like 2 hours and 52 or whatever.
Yes,
so funny. He was so mad. He's like, damn it. I almost hit 3 hours. So that was a funny story.
That was funny. A lot of good questions scrolled by while you were talking. I mean, like, how do I get started with diving? We get that one often. Go to your local dive shop. That's the best way, honestly. Go to your local dive shop and ask them about their programs. A lot of people will start with a try scuba, like you just get in the pool and try it out, and then they'll tell you all about their certification process at your local dive shop.
Somebody's asking, is the Subgravity a good DPV, or is it worth getting bigger ones? You know, there's a lot of people I see in cave country, especially with Subgravities. Mm-hmm. They're made in Germany. They're good quality. We went for a different brand than Subgravity, just because, our DPVs, they are a little bit more expensive, but they can go further, and they're way more quiet. and lighter, like 15 pounds lighter.
Yeah, but there's plenty of sub-gravity users that will tell you
They love it.
why theirs is better.
Yeah.
We also were ultimately we couldn't. A lot of reasons led to that, but ultimately we did most of our DPV training with somebody who dives the Seacraft. So
Yep.
kind of made sense to go with that.
Yeah. Let's see.
What was the highest level of nitrogen narcosis you have experienced? I mean, it's hard to know the highest level. I would say for me, it was not that long ago. It was when I was diving in the Great Lakes. I think it was because it was really cold. I was at 150 feet with Mike Young, and my head just started spinning, and it was like dizzy. And I'm like, dude, I'm coming up. It's
150.
like I'm like watching the bottom of the wreck spin, and I just came up, and it cleared right up. That's the most I've ever felt. I think the cold contributed to it. I wasn't off gassing quickly because I was freaking freezing. It was like 39-degree bottom temp.
What's the deepest you would ever dive? I mean, we are both trained to 330 feet. There are certification courses that teach you to go a little bit deeper, but you don't want to go to like 600-700 feet. That's just too dangerous. So
whatever depth we're trained to is
That's right.
is how deep that I think we would both agree to dive to.
Right.
Best wreck dive, for me they're in Chuck Lagoon. I still think my favorite overall wreck diving venue is Chuck. They're just incredible, and they're intact, and there's 80 of them.
Yeah. Somebody asked, what is the average price of a dive camera? I mean, it's just like, what's the average price of a camera? It's the same question. Like, who knows? I mean, depending on the camera.
Paralens, or do you want a big pro system?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all.
So, like, this is the camera we typically use when we go on trips. We are like a Sony shop here, and I wish they just sponsored the channel because every camera we have is Sony.
They're amazing.
And they're great. So, so this is my Sony that I use when I travel. It's called the what's it called? It's like the 7th whatever RX. There we go. RX 107. And I love this little camera. It's like super good quality. You can take this on the water if you buy the housing, but I think the camera is like $1,000 and the housing is like $2,000. Typically, to make them waterproof is more expensive, and the bigger the camera, the more expensive it is. Like, I don't know how much. And I think I asked Jonathan Bird this question. He has a red camera, which the red camera by itself is like $50,000 or something. It's like a very expensive camera. And then he has a housing for that. And I'm like, where the hell do you get a housing for a red camera? And he's like, I made it. And I'm like, okay, forget it.
Yeah.
That's next level.
For cave diving, look, a lot of the caves we dive, some of the guides won't even let you take a camera in unless it's mask mounted. So, look, for me, I just like a simple camera. I put my paralens, the first paralens, right on the side of my mask. And if you have a good video light, they're decent enough to make videos with. So I love that. I just turn it on, and the housing's built in on a paralens. You don't have to buy a separate housing.
All right. Do you recommend buying scuba gear before you take the open water class? Not really. I mean, I think, if you have a really great deal and you can talk to somebody who knows about gear and, all of that, like maybe in some cases it makes sense. But I think you should just go and work with your dive shop and see what they have. They typically can do a really good deal when you buy the gear from them and do the class with them.
Austin's asking about beautiful caves on the West Coast. I personally have not dove any caves on the West Coast. I've only dove caves in the United States and cave country all through Florida. So I don't know the answer to that. Maybe
Devil's
there's some
Hole,
other.
Right, in Nevada would be.
I want to hit that hole, but we haven't dove it yet. I can only answer the holes I've hit, and that's not one of them.
Wow.
But I want to. That one's hot, too.
So Agustin keeps asking, is there any chance to make a course with me specifically? Like we said, Sea Ventures is the shop that we 400 feet. So they're super deep. They're not easy to get. They're not by the entrance. So it's just really tough.
Somebody asked about a Patty versus Nowie. So in general, I'm not going to focus on Patty versus Nowie. I'll focus on dive agency.
Wait.
I don't think it matters.
Wait, why are people saying the stream died? Wait a minute. Okay.
Oh.
So now we're back.
All right. People are asking about
weird.
dive agency. Should I get Patty certified or Nowie certified? Doesn't matter. Forget about that. Go by your local dive shop and the people that you're going to dive with, and pick an instructor that you feel comfortable with. Honestly, the dive agency does not matter. Really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Why do caves have more formation south of Florida? Well, the sandstone, the limestone in Florida was very conducive to creating sinkholes where there were voids in the earth. When the oceans rose and then fell again, rose and then fell again, that made the underground turn into caves. And it's just the nature of the land. It's subject to collapse. So underneath Florida, that section in cave country is like a spaghetti bowl under there.
Yep. Somebody's saying we may be having buffering issues. I hope not. We have pretty good internet here.
So is everybody hearing us okay right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. We've lost a lot of people, a lot of viewers. I wonder if there were some connection issues.
There may have been. Thank you for the super chat, Rob. Can we guys react to?
Yeah, Linnea Mills. This is a dry suit incident.
I know about it.
A couple years ago.
We're going to, but not right now. I think it's still possibly being litigated, so we need to give that one some time.
Yeah.
Everybody hears us again. It died for a minute. Okay, good. Glad you're back.
I like to see a raw video, like gear prep, dive briefing, like everything from beginning to end. We actually shot 1 or 2 dive briefings from Brian Kaycock during our last trip. However, dive briefings are long, especially when they're as good as Brian, who has like world class dive briefings. So if we put all the dive briefing and the dive on the same video and the gear stuff, then the video will be like 4 hours long or something. I mean, it's a long process.
Yeah, but they're I don't like dive briefings that are long when a dive master or something is on a boat and they just want to hear themselves talk.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, get on with it. If there is a purpose for a long dive briefing, like Brian's, where you need to know exactly what to do in a particular spot, and when you get to that spot, you don't have to memorize it, but it needs to be familiar in your head, then that's worthy of a long dive briefing.
Yeah.
But I actually believe the quicker the dive briefing, the better in most dive briefings, because otherwise the information is just them hearing themselves talk.
Especially when the dive briefing includes things where Brian is telling you specifically where you are not supposed to follow your typical cave diving protocol, as in have the right trim or don't use your hands or whatever. Like there's some areas where Brian would tell us, here I want you to go vertical. Here I want you to go sideways. Here I want you to use your hands and don't use your legs whatsoever. So you really have to pay attention on those.
Would I consider going back to Shangri-La? Not in particular, honestly. I mean, I liked it. I wanted to do it with somebody that knew it, which was Mehdi, that could guide it, that had far more experience in that than me. So I was willing to do it, and we did a lot of planning. Am I like, oh, I got to get back to Shangri-La to the point where I'm squeezed to where even my regulator's purging in my face? There's so many other great caves. I would rather go where we all can go, where Gus feels comfortable going as well, because cave diving for me is about the ability to use all the skills that took me a long time to learn and fun.
You guys should have Mehdi on the show. Absolutely. We would love to. I wish he didn't live in Tallahassee, which is several hours from us.
And we have.
And he's been on the show. Yeah.
We're going to do another live. We got to schedule it with Ed. He wants to do a follow-up live regarding the O2 shutoff valve video that we did with him. So
Austin, I see that you're a member. There's a members-only version of the Shangri-La dive. If you go check that out, Mehdi is on that video, on the members-only version. He's a bunch. Like, he's on the video a lot. So if you want to put a face to the name, that's the best video to watch.
Thank you, Heather, by the way. You have been with us for a long time, 8 months, major supporter.
Amazing.
And you were a student of mine. I had the privilege of certifying Heather. So I hope you're diving and continue diving. I hope you're enjoying your dive journey.
Yeah.
Thank
8
you,
months,
John, by the way,
remember.
for joining. You just became a toe dipper. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Robin, a good friend of Heather's and a good friend of ours, is congratulating Heather. And Robin, we love you as well. You are a big supporter.
Have you ever been to Hole in the Wall Cave in Jupiter, Florida? I've not in Jupiter, but we went to the one in Mariana.
I think that's what he means.
Hole in the wall.
I don't
Okay, then
believe
if
there's another. Jupiter is
if
all,
that's what you mean, then yes.
Yeah, Jupiter is all, as far as I know. I do love diving in Jupiter, but that's all ocean diving, well known for its sharks.
Yeah. How deep can a human go before they explode from pressure? No idea. Although Joe DiTore said, because he went down to like 2,300 feet or something like that. He was inside a suit, like a single person submarine. He said that if that suit failed, he would have died immediately.
I believe that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anthony. Became a toe dipper.
Have you ever been to Vortex Springs? Yes, absolutely. Multiple times.
999 Racing. I am a gas blender. I have been certified. I took a class to become a gas blender. So,
I'm
yes.
not. Did we ever experience any problems deep in a cave? Yeah, several times. But once again, because we bring a ton of redundancy, it's not an issue.
Thank you, Eric, for the super chat. Woody, where did you find your pink
2-inch.
2-harness webbing? From Cave Adventurers. Go to their website.
The straps, I think. Is that what he's talking about?
Okay. I thought he was talking about
webbing?
my Sidewinder, but the webbing itself, I believe I found them somewhere on the internet.
I think it's from Piranha Manufacturing.
Was
in
it?
Florida.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. They have
Yeah, I
all
think they
different
make
colored
them.
harnesses, and that was a big job though to get that in there. Taking that webbing out is a pain in the butt.
Yeah. I'm glad they don't make it in orange because I'll have to suffer.
It's a few hour project.
I would have to suffer. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, for people asking how do you become members, again, under the video, if you're on a desktop or if you're on a phone but using the browser on your phone, you will see a button that says join, and you can just click on that, pick your level, and you'll be a member.
That's an interesting point. It's called Horse and Diver, that you want to become Rebreather certified, but Utah has weird rules on getting O2. A very big Rebreather instructor in Salt Lake is Randy Thornton. He has tons of O2. He's a big-time rebreather instructor.
He makes rebreathers.
He makes rebreathers.
Yeah.
Well, he's the dealer in that
Subgravity.
in that rebreather,
Yeah.
Subgravity. But no problem for him getting O2. So reach out to him. What is his shop's name? I'm just blanking out on this shop's name. Randy Thornton in Utah,
Yeah.
Salt Lake. No problem.
Like Underwater Cave Explorers or something like that. Or Underwater Adventures or something like that.
I don't want to say the wrong name. I mean,
Yeah.
I can Google it.
Yeah,
while
if you
you're
go to
reading comments.
subgravity.com, Randy also owns Subgravity.
Okay.
So you can find him through
There you
go. What other hobbies do you guys have? Riding motorcycles. We love that. And I know that there's some of you, by the way, in Georgia that have asked us, hey, when are we going to go on a motorcycle ride? We would love to. I look for excuses to go out on the motorcycle. It's just the weather's unpredictable. Like yesterday was like 70-something degrees Fahrenheit, which is 20-something Celsius, and it was just beautiful riding out. But then like this next weekend is going to be 42, which is like 8 degrees Celsius. So it's super cold and rainy. So it's just hard to plan for a ride. Maybe, May, June, something like that with a better weather. We'll get it.
Yeah.
Get it
For
done.
me, I mean, motorcycle riding is an activity. It's certainly not my main activity.
Or a hobby. That's
I for years was a very avid snow skier. I did also a lot of climbing, particularly ice climbing, crazy enough. So I still love that.
Yeah, other people are asking, or somebody asked.
Dive Addicts. Okay, Dive
yes.
Addicts in Utah, Salt Lake is Randy Thornton's shop. No problem getting O2 through him.
Yeah, some people are asking, how do we get these jerseys? Do you get it when you get certified? No, the answer is no. I actually have designed these jerseys for the last couple of years. They're all custom made, and the fabric is amazing. It's like the same fabric that is used by the professional soccer teams, for example. And basically, we sell them to people that get certified. They get to buy them, and we do it in batches. It's not available for sale like that. However, we will be making a Dive Talk jersey for those who want to own it. It's going to be expensive, more expensive than, a typical t-shirt, but it will be the same quality. It will have your name. It will be custom. And we are working with the manufacturer to make a online shop, so they are available always. Instead of ordering them in batches, you can just go and buy whenever you want.
Doug Ebersol, you're right. Doug Ebersol just answered. Hole in the wall. It is. It's a big swim through in Jupiter.
Huh.
I just did it. Literally went through that swim through, and it's a really gorgeous swim through. But it's not a cave. It's just a big swim through when you're in Jupiter. Thanks, cool. Doug. Good for reminding me. I actually was just led a shark diving trip there, and we did that swim through.
Henry's asking, is there any good scuba diving in El Salvador? I'm not sure. I wish I knew. Can I get the KISS jersey in blue? Yeah, if you get certified and you are part of the groups on Facebook for KISS Rebreather divers, that's typically what I advertise when the new batches are going to be made. Let's see. Any other questions? When did I arrive in the U.S. after leaving Venezuela? 2005. I moved to the U.S. in 2005. How long have we been friends? I think we met in 2019. Yeah. What kind of wildlife do you encounter on an average dive? Depending on the dive, there's not a whole lot of life inside the caves except for those translucent critters. Like, there were a lot of them in the Bahamas. A lot of little translucent critters, and they were awesome.
And some of them are very unique to that cave environment. And by the way, Brian says they have actually discovered unique cave critters that they've never seen anywhere else and still discovers them. Jacob became a toe dipper. I like to recognize people that do because this is very, very helpful to us.
Absolutely.
We are in the same studio.
Yeah. Sorry. Are we remote or in the same studio? We're always in the same studio, by the way. I don't think we've ever done a remote video.
Do you have like a ball or here? Throw me a bag of Doritos. Right there. Reach over. Watch this.
People.
Just to prove it. Here we go. You ready? Here it comes.
Here, look, hold on, so they can see. This is all CGI, by the way. We're not in the same place.
Oh, ready? Good. Nacho cheese.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. Have I ever dived in Wisconsin?
I want some Doritos,
no,
Heidi.
I've never even been to Wisconsin.
I don't want to be rude, but now that I hear this, I'm dying to eat these right now. But Cheetos, any Cheetos in there? Frito-Lay, feel free to call us.
Yeah, Austin wants me to toss him one. Hold on.
Oh my! I love these.
Are you ready,
cheese.
Dustin? Here we go. Hope you caught that.
I mean, is it rude to pop these open and eat them while on the live stream?
No, there's no rules, bro.
So I could eat Doritos right now.
Absolutely, but don't show the brand because they're not sponsoring us. Just show the back.
I've already showed the nacho cheese.
I'll edit this.
There's only one nacho cheese Dorito in the world.
No, don't say that. We are not. They have to pay. That's the new. All right. Let's see. Austin, I hope you caught that, man. That was a good throw.
Just took out my Invisalign.
Yeah, he caught it. Good job. Matt with a super chat. Guys, I love the story getting certified with Ed and had a complete failure and didn't miss a beat. Either of you have any more failure stories? Yeah, I mean, I have several. Several things have happened to me.
By the
and
way,
I think
this is L. Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to. Keep going.
Several stories. So I already talked how my regulator stopped working at 180 feet. So I ran out of air 180, basically. During our first DPV class, I smashed into the ceiling and broke my loop. So completely flooded my rebreather. We talk about that in detail on that video. If you haven't watched that, go check it out.
I think you saw my ADV fail in the middle of a cave dive after going through a tight restriction.
A jug hole, right?
Your
thing failed. So yeah, we've had several, but it's always been, we've always been ready for it. That's part of training. And shout out to Doug Ebersol, who's on this live stream. He was my cave instructor. So Every time I've come out of one of those emergencies, it hasn't been because of me, because I'm some kind of special diver or whatever. It's because of my instructors. They are the ones who taught me how to do it, and I just did what they showed me. So they get all the credit, really.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, you guys think
G4,
Devil's
thank you for the
Hole?
super chat.
Yes, thank you. As well. You guys think the Devil's Hole is an entrance to a huge underground ocean from British Columbia all the way down to Mexico? I have no idea. What we know is that sometimes, stuff happens like earthquakes in Mexico and Devil's Hole goes crazy. There are some videos, by the way, of this happening. I don't know how those pupfish are still alive. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's down there. Nobody knows.
John, you're asking me about my new helmet. I did try on my mask with the Paralens, and I believe it's going to fit perfectly right under the helmet. I don't think there's any interference going to be at all. It's going to be modified further by Brian Kickup because I'm actually going to mount the Nerd to the helmet where it's on a swivel. So my Nerd dive computer will be sort of upside down, but you can make the screen read correctly upside down. And I could swivel it just above my eye so it's not interfering with my vision. It's going to be awesome.
Robin, asking a really good question. How do you fix a flooded loop? Is this something you can do yourself? I'll answer. No. Once you flood your loop, you bail out. There's only 2 situations where we actually bail out. We don't try to fix the rebreather or troubleshoot or anything. We just immediately bail out to open circuit. That's why we carry tanks when we dive with the rebreather, so we can kind of ditch the rebreather. I mean, it's still in our back, but we bail out. We're not using it anymore. And flooded loop is one of those 2 things.
Yes, if it's flooded. Now, if you get a little bit of water in the loop, which can happen through building up humidity from your breathing or a little bit of leakiness, you can close the loop, lift it up, shake it towards your right side, which on our rebreather is the exhale side. And that's a drill. That is a drill that we make our students do.
Absolutely. Terry, Scuba Girls of Georgia, member for 8 months. I think Terry was like subscriber number 3 or something like that, ever, out of the 100,000. So thank you, Terry, for being a supporter.
Thanks, Terry.
Let's see. Is there somewhere you refuse to dive at?
Not really. It's
Yeah,
funny
we're
how we
not-
both looked at each other like, you stumped us. Refuse to dive is like, it doesn't resonate.
I refuse, sir.
At least not, no, I don't think so.
Nah, we dive anywhere. Let's see. What else? Have you dived with Mike Young on tricky or difficult caves? No, not on tricky or difficult caves. Just open water for me. Because here's the thing. What I consider to be a tricky or difficult cave, Mike Young calls a cathedral, right? Like, he will swim through that like no big deal. So if Mike Young says, I'm going to take you to a tricky cave, I will say no thank you because I'm going to die. Because Mike is at a whole, his level of analyzing cave difficulty is skewed for someone who is at the top of the game. Yeah.
I mean, Alec, I would dive the Arctic. Cold water diving
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
is not my preference, but man, to have an opportunity to dive the Arctic and see some of that marine life, I would prepare. Obviously, I would have special heated garments under my dry suit, which I've already dove with, and dry gloves, which I've done. So,
Yeah.
it'd be tough, but I would do it.
Somebody asked if Ed got stuck, would you go get him?
The question is, could we? Right? I mean,
Yeah.
of course. I know my nature would be to want to help rescue anybody I could. But one rule in diving, not just cave diving, is you need to be able to be sure you can take care of yourself,
Right.
and you're not going to injure yourself first. So it depends if we were qualified to get to where he was at, because knowing him, he went to some place that we probably couldn't get to, because he's another, like Mike Young, one of the
Superhuman.
top in the world of cave diving. So
Yeah.
that's just an honest answer,
Yeah. Yeah, it would be like If Alex Honnold got stuck on El Capitan, will you go get him?
Yeah, I mean, helicopter.
I'll send Woody.
I don't know.
Hold
the
on,
heat
because Lee has done 2 super chats, and I don't want to keep ignoring his question. Thank you, Lee, for the super chat. Have you watched The Rescue? What are your thoughts? Yes, I watched The Rescue immediately when it was available for me to watch it. I tried to watch it at the movie theater. I couldn't find it in Atlanta. Apparently, we don't care about cave, movies. But when it came into Disney Plus, I think it is, or whatever it was, I watched it immediately, and I loved it. I really loved what they did with the movie. I really, really enjoyed it, and really made me proud to be a cave diver. Yeah.
Thank you, Doritos, and I'm done eating those. But if you want to
Stop saying the name. We're not sponsored.
beep 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 beep. Beep.
Let's see. Hi from Spain. Love Spain. Hi from Atlanta. Taking cave strategy into commercial world. Yeah, I don't know.
Drift diving, we both do have some of those transmitters, and we are making it a habit of keeping them in our BCDs more and more. Different brands, but yeah, I think that's a good device to have.
Ah, man, Jacob's question is, it's just too many things to answer. What is one place you want to dive that you've never been to? Unlimited. I don't know. Chuck Lagoon, Galapagos for me, Australia. I've never dived in Australia. It's on and on and on and on. I can talk about it all day.
I've dove all 3 of those. I've been fortunate. But one place that I still want to go to that I've never been, actually, it's probably the Maldives. I haven't been in the Maldives. I don't know. There's so many. Honestly, it's tough to answer that.
Yeah. Somebody said we should react to I Found the Wreck movie from Inner Space Explorers. Look, I enjoy Akeem's videos. He's a great diver. Really, really awesome, talented. He's legit. And I really cringe when people criticize his techniques and methods. Like, you're doing that wrong, you're carrying that wrong, because I'm like, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's legit. So yeah, one of these days we'll do a reaction to Akeem's videos.
What's one of the most dangerous caves you've dove? I would say one of the most difficult for me was Shangri-La. Just the tightness of it, and I did get line trapped. It means the line led me to an area that I had to back out of because I could not go any further. I don't know about the word dangerous, but certainly one of the most challenging, I would say.
Christy had a rough start with diving. She said that her first dive was in the Maldives. Yeah. So she started. It was rough.
That's hard. I'm sorry.
Was,
perfect visibility and tons of marine life.
I got certified on my local quarry where probably people have drowned, but she was in the Maldives.
I'm sorry it's not. I'm sorry it's not 7-star the Maldives. I'm sorry it's only 6-star.
Roughing it out there, Christy. Wow, I feel so bad. Where's my violin?
Minimum requirement to train someone on a rebreather. It's not my minimum requirement. It's the dive agency's minimum requirement. I'd like to see you. I got to go back and check the standards on this, but I think you have 100 hours of diving, open circuit, probably advanced open water diver. And then I would want to talk to you about what the class entails, because it's a 1-week class. It's like a Monday through Friday. We spend about 10 hours a day together. So just got to make sure you understand what that journey would be, but it's epic. Don't let me scare you. Will change your diving forever. I just got through teaching it, so I'm usually tired for about a week after, but it's fantastic.
You also cannot like pineapple on your pizza. That's one of the.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You're out.
Yeah. We don't do that.
Yeah. That's on the standards, I think. Have you ever seen Wilbur, the 200-pound? No, I haven't seen Wilbur. I don't think. How much money do you think you've spent on diving? Oh my god, dude.
I mean, it's 4 decades for me. It's literally 100. I don't know. I'm scared
no idea.
to wonder. It's a lot.
But if my wife is watching this, $12.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. What have you found to be the most common failure point of open circuit and rebreather other than user error? What is the biggest?
You spent $12 just at Burger King, from what I remember. But anyway, sorry, TV.
That's.
I just what are you answering?
What is the most common failure point for open circuit and rebreather?
Other than user error. I would say on the rebreather, I will have to say it's probably either swivels, any kind of swivel that you have connected to the rebreather tend to be a failure point.
Mm-hmm.
And on ours, I'm not going to lie, it's the automatic diluent valve, the ADV. I've just seen it fail on myself and a number of people. Open circuit, I would have to go with some kind of failure in the second stage regulator. I have not seen any problems with first stages, but I have seen problems with regulators. That's it for me. I mean,
yeah. In a lot of cases, people don't maintain them, right? They don't do their annual maintenance or whatever. They've been diving with the same thing, crusted with salt, in the ocean for 5 years, and then they're shocked when the regulator fails. So, let's see. Any exciting cave dives you have coming up? I mean, it's hard to top the ones we just did, I feel like. Everything going forward is like, Puh.
I'm going back there in May with Doug Ebersol. But Gus just can't make that trip, so that's going to be... It's just pretty tough, as Gus said, too. The Crystal Caves in Abacus are just... They're one of a kind.
Yeah, exactly.
I want that little doggy. Yeah, Elle's like the love of my life. That's not going to happen.
Let's
What
see.
other snacks do we like?
Oh man, all healthy. Obviously.
Everything in that box that I'm looking at, right? My eyes are now. I just ate those. Am I allowed to say what they are? Or not allowed to say the name?
No, we don't. We don't get sponsored.
Nacho cheese.
Oh my god.
I didn't say that beyond that.
Okay. But
I love Cheetos.
we eat a lot of snacks on these
barbecue kettle chips are. You know what my problem is with barbecue kettle chips? Let's say you get the giant bag of them. You can't stop eating those. You're going to finish the whole bag at one time.
Yeah. This is a good question. Let's talk about this. Dave is asking, what is the difficulty of Fanghorn on a scale from 1 to 10?
Difficulty? Well, I'm going to say the requirement would be you have to have really, really top-notch buoyancy and trim control.
Right.
And I'm not just talking about this type of trim. I'm talking about being able to turn on your side to get through stalactites that are like, I don't know, 30 feet in height and super delicate that you have to swim in between.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call that very up there. It's hard to say 1 through 10, but you better be on your game, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's 2 ways to answer that question. Number one is, if you're a regular diver, how hard is Fanghorn? I would say it's near impossible without Brian killing you because you broke a bunch of stuff.
No, you can't. You can't.
Now, once you reach the level in which you can actually be taken to Fanghorn safely, I don't think the dive itself is too hard or complicated. There's a lot of swimming, but Brian does a really good job at the pace that he swims, so you don't get tired or whatever.
Yeah, there's just sections of it where you need to go, all right, this is that section. I'm going to slow down, look, understand your spatial awareness, and make sure that you go through that section.
Yeah.
Sometimes with your hands. Like, this is going to defy normal cave diving.
Yep.
Would you believe that sometimes in the Crystal Caves, he's like, I want you to use your hands and not kick at all. I don't want any kicking because that could go too wide. Just baby little hand movements to get you through certain areas.
Yeah, and we're going to get crushed. I know. When we post the videos from the Crystal Caves,
you gotta
in
use
some
your
places
hands.
we're doing this, people are going to be like,
No,
These guys are posers. Look at that, using their hands.
You have to. You're told to in the briefing.
Yeah.
You're told don't move your fins at all in this section. Only use your hands. So
Yeah. And Woody's right. There are, I think, 1 or 2 dips that you do at Fangorn. There are pretty deep, like 150 feet or whatever. Where it's small. It's a small, you go under like an overhang thing. And at the bottom of that, like if I had to guess, it's like 1 meter, like 3 feet is the size that you have to swim through. And the bottom of that is perfectly preserved, cracked, like mud. So like from hundreds of thousands of years ago, when the cave at 150 feet was dry all the way down, the mud was wet and then it dried up. And then he flooded again, and now that mud, just like when you see dry mud that is cracked, those little squares or whatever, it looks like my apps. In the bottom, it's perfectly preserved.
And how long? And that could have been like that for like a couple hundred thousands of years.
Yeah. So if you touch it with your fin, you mess them up.
It would be a disaster.
So you go to 150 feet, and you're like, oh.
You don't want to touch that.
This needs to be perfect. And so those are the pieces that I thought it was the hardest, is making sure you leave that exactly how it looks for the next people that go there. And, we went past Fangorn. Fangorn is a long dive, but we went past Fangorn. We went to something called Wrigley Field. Looks like a baseball stadium. It's this massive room. And then all the way in the top on the back, there's something called the cheap seats section,
which has some very fragile formations.
Very, very fragile. And, it was a long dive. That was my 3-hour dive. And Brian told us that he believes that less than 50 people have been there.
Mm-hmm. He'd say, yeah.
That was awesome.
He thinks as a combination dive, not necessarily the single best site, but as an overall dive, Fanghorn to the cheap seats, he thinks that's his overall favorite dive. Not necessarily his favorite spot.
Yeah.
Right? There's other places. By the way, a lot of you were asking about cave certification. Doug Ebersol is on the chat, or was. He would be great to reach out to. He can tell. He's a cave instructor. He was my Rebreather instructor, by the way. One of my mentors. I love diving and learning from Doug. And he's a cave... I hear something.
It's raining.
That's wild. So anyway, he's a cave instructor, and he can answer questions about what it takes to become cave certified. It's a lot, guys. You can't just go cave diving in Florida. That's a big certification.
Yeah. A couple of super chats. Thank you guys for those of you who send super chats. Christian, the first one, did you dive in Egypt? I did my certifications there on my 10th dive ever. We saw hammerheads. Hammerheads are awesome. I haven't been to Egypt yet, but I think you've been at the Red Sea, right, Woody?
Beautiful, magnificent,
yeah,
top-notch, world-class diving.
Yeah, Alt Grendel as well, $4.99 for a super chat. Thank you for that, James. With another super chat, have you seen videos of the world's deepest swimming pool? What are your thoughts about it, and would you like to dive it immediately?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes. We've seen the videos. We actually know the people that are running the show over there, and we've been invited to go. But obviously, going to Dubai is a very expensive endeavor, and we hope that we can do it someday.
Why did we choose Kiss as our rebreathers? I'll jump in. I mean, Gus can answer for his thoughts as well, because those are important. I was exposed to Kiss by actually Doug's daughter, actually, Kim. She was becoming a Kiss Rebreather instructor. She told me about the Kiss Rebreather. She then introduced me to Doug, and then I met the Kiss team after falling in love with that rebreather. And I knew that I just wanted to be associated not only with the fact that it's a mechanical rebreather, which I think makes it extremely safe and easy to understand and use, but the support and the level of divers that are in the Kiss family is second to none. I mean, when you meet Mike Young and when you get service from Kiss and they react like 10 minutes after you send them an email and they go over and above and beyond always, and then you see the caliber of divers worldwide that dive the Kiss, well, that does it. So
yeah.
I think Kiss is one of the safest rebreathers in the world.
Awesome. A couple of good questions right here that came up. Let's see if I can find it because it was good. Good question. It was about like what is the coolest thing you've seen on a cave that makes you marvel at the creation, like at the cave itself. For me, it was the last dive we did in Abaco, which was going to the glass factory. That thing is just insanity. And you get to see the glass factory, by the way, on Ancient Caves. If it's playing on the city that you're in, go check it out. I think Jonathan Bird did a really good job filming in there. I have no idea how he got a camera in there because that thing is
Wow.
insanely intricate. I wouldn't take a GoPro.
Right.
I mean, it's just like you have to be very careful, but it's really really awesome. So yeah.
And recently, Brian, I don't know if you can get to his Facebook page, may help it, but he's posted professional level photos of rooms that he calls "We're Not Worthy," where he literally pulled the line out. They're so magnificent and perfect. He basically named them "We're Not Worthy," as in humans aren't worthy to be in there. And he's got photos of those. Go check them out. Wow. I wish we were worthy.
Really good comment by Heidi. Says, it's a monsoon over here. If you guys lose power, you have to put on part 2. Fun fact, this whole studio is supported by batteries.
Nice.
So even if we lose power, we'll keep going. We can roll for like 8 or 12 hours or something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Next level. Let's see, Cole. Have you ever looked into diving the flooded Titan 1 nuclear missile silo in Washington? There's a couple of these missile silos, by the way. I think it's a cool thing just because of the location, but I don't think that diving would be necessarily, challenging. It's just a hole, a perfect straight hole, because that's where the missile went, and you just go to the bottom and look around and come up. So no, we've never really been like seriously consider going to a missile silo just to do that. If there was something nearby, then we would just throw the missile silo thing in. Like, it's not particularly fascinating as a dive.
Hi, Effie, who runs, by the way, shopdivetalk.com. All of our merchandise is available on that, Shop Dive Talk. We wouldn't have that site if it weren't for Effie from Turkey, who just apparently woke up and is now Effie and is now here. So hi, hey, and thank you.
How do we submit our video ideas? Just send us an email, info@divetalk.com. Will you travel in a submarine? Yes, absolutely. That sounds awesome. I don't know if I fit in a submarine, but I would.
You can get us in one, anybody. We would be very happy to travel in it. Where did you take first-time divers? Where do you take them? Typically, if we're running trips through Sea Ventures, it's to Key Largo, Molasses Reef. Very mellow, beautiful reef system in the Keys. Your first dive will be at about 30 feet.
Why is it named a cookie? I guess he's talking about cave diving cookies. Is it an internet reference? No. I think, I don't know.
It just looks like a cookie. It was formed in a circle.
Right.
So that's all.
Nothing special. How do you share air on a rebreather? Is there redundancy? Well, we carry tanks with us, which are our bailout tanks, and we share air from those tanks. We don't share the rebreather.
Awesome, IMAX. Can't wait to dive your first dive. And thanks for telling us that we taught you a ton. Enjoy it, man.
Yeah. Can you tell us the story of how Dive Talk came about? We've shared that many times, but it's basically just Woody and I driving down to Florida to go diving. We said we should really record these conversations that we're having, and Dive Talk was born. That's basically what happened. Let's see. I don't know if there's anything else.
Well, there's one that says, do you think if you have a deep fear of sharks and the sea, it's just scary to you in general, that you get very paranoid and scared in the water, diving probably shouldn't be for you? You know what? I think if you dive with sharks and the marine life, you will quickly overcome that fear. Why? Because they're not really going to be interested in you or bother you at all.
Great question from Heidi. Can you do a rebreather like first time skydiving, as in Gus, strap me on your chest and let me try in that way? First of all, I feel that's borderline thirsty comment. But we actually do try rebreathers. So you can try it. You know, you don't have to be a rebreather diver to dive a rebreather to try it. You do it in a pool. You don't do it in open water. But for those of you who are coming to the meetup, which I know several of you are, so thank you for doing that. We will be doing a free try rebreather during the meetup. You get to dive with our own rebreathers.
Yep. We'll have some forms you'll need to sign. There's just some liability waiver forms, but we'll be doing it in a pool, and we will be doing try rebreather. I can do that as an instructor, but we will have a number of people there. Gus is bringing his rebreather. I think Doug and Mike also. So that will get you the ability to swim around in the pool and get to experience it.
Yeah, some people asking when is the meetup, questions about the meetup. I have to get it together or get help. Maybe I should get help from somebody who's going to the meetup, because we still have a couple of spots available on the meetup because
really?
more rooms open up.
Okay.
But I haven't advertised it, and I should, because the meetup is going to happen soon.
Wow, those would probably go fast, but
yes,
I know it's a lot of work, and it's not my thing to do that.
It's hard. But we do have a few spots available. The meetup is April 28th through May 2nd. So April 28th through May 2nd in Fort Lauderdale. We're getting together. It doesn't cost anything to go to the meetup. Not that you can stay for free or whatever. You have to pay your hotel. You have to pay your food. You have to pay for the diving. But me and Woody, Dive Talk is charging $0.
Yeah.
To come and meet with us and dive with us. We're just going to get together. We just want to get together with a few of you guys, go diving. Doesn't cost anything. If you're interested in going, and if you can go, because I know some of you are like, when is the meetup? And you're like in South Africa and unable to come or something like that. But if you are in the U.S., if you're willing to fly or drive to Florida and stay with us in Fort Lauderdale and go diving for a few days, send me an email, info@divetalk.com. And, you know, I will hook you up with whatever rooms we have available. But
awesome.
This should have been a public comment that I haven't made.
Fletcher Knives.
Wow, Dylan, thank you. Just sliding you guys some surveys money, but since I get sent a message anyways, Gus, it was something we discussed the other day by Crazy Constance. I got biked that night. By the way, Dylan Fletcher, this guy.
Hey, Dylan, he said.
If you've ever watched the show Top Shot, Dylan was on that show. My favorite season, by the way. He was in the show, but he makes knives like this thing right here. This Dylan make this thing. Wow. I don't know if I have the most Fletcher knives ever of all the people that owns these knives, but I have like 15 or something. I don't know. He makes them all by hand, or he used to. Hopefully he gets back to it. Made them all by hand, and he's an amazing knife maker. Bladesmith, just overall cool guy. I got to meet Dylan one time, and he wants to meet with us again. He says he has some stuff that we've never seen. Like, he cannot even put it on the internet. It's so cool. So he's like, come. He's here in Georgia. He's like, let's get together.
Okay,
I'll show you some stuff. So, Dylan, shout out.
James, super chat. Do you find it easier to train new divers or seasoned divers? Listen, I find it based on the diver, not whether or not they're new or seasoned. Sometimes, though, seasoned divers, how do I put this, think they know more than they know. I recently went through and trained a group of doctors who claimed, oh, we're super advanced and been diving for years. It was quite the challenge.
Eye-opening.
Now, they changed and they became better, but it took them a minute to just stop and listen and take the advice rather than just kind of think you know what you're doing, because at the beginning it was really bad. And then they were better. So sometimes new divers are easier because they're more open-minded.
Somebody's asking, does he make dive knives?
I don't know.
Maybe
he should.
But I mean, I've tried, but Dylan is a busy guy. Custom dive knives would be pretty cool. Yeah, I agree. I would love one. James, you find it easier to train you? Is this? This is the question you just answered.
Yeah.
Sorry. Robbing's coming from the Netherlands. That's true. To the meetup, so we have people from everywhere. From South Africa, tempted to fly here. Go ahead. 17 hours from Joburg to Atlanta.
You'll have a blast. Listen, we stay in right on the beach. It's in Lauderdale by the Sea. We walk to amazing restaurants. The diving is 10 minutes away. It's world-class drift diving. You're going to see sharks, hopefully rays, Goliath grouper, barracuda, and amazing wrecks. And it's just going to be a great few days.
Yep.
Mike Young will be there, and Doug Ebersol will be there. I probably should have said that. So forget about meeting with us. They're probably much more interesting to meet with, but they'll be there as well.
Absolutely. Can non-divers come? You know, there's several people that are bringing kind of their spouse or girlfriend or whatever, and who's not diving, and that's cool. Again, we're not charging for it, but obviously we would rather the rooms go to people that want to dive with us. Unfortunately.
And half the day, you got to understand, by the time you get up, get to the dive boat, go out and dive, you've eaten up half the day. So.
Can you get Ed or Medi to come to the meetup? I would love to.
Come, guys, if they're either one are listening, come to the meetup.
Absolutely. Do you have more openings for the meetup? I read it was full. Yes, you read that right, but that's because I've been lazy and haven't advertised the fact that we actually do have a few more spots because we got a bigger boat. That's the news.
Bigger boat and more rooms.
Yeah, we had a boat that fits 20 people, and then the dive operator came to me a few weeks ago and said, "Would it be cool if I put you on a boat that fits 32 people?" And I'm like, "Yes." So I reached out to everyone who was on the wait list. Some people joined, like Christy, for example, and then some people passed on it. So I still have, I think, like 4 or 5 spots.
Woody, as an old timer, did you ever use the Orca Edge? No. Not that I remember.
Bring Mr. Ballin. He's a diver.
Yeah, we wish.
Would be awesome to have John. You guys ever seen anything that can be explained underwater? No, not really. I don't think so.
Well.
It's Donald Cerrone coming. I wish. Donald is welcome.
Yeah, I wish he would. I mean, I would love to meet him and dive with him, frankly, whatever.
Let's see. What else?
I don't know.
What's the biggest dive group you've ever been in? I mean, the dive groups in Cozumel were pretty good. Pretty good size. Like 20 or so?
For me, it's inner space.
Yeah.
Which I hope you get to go to if they ever come back. Wow, they were big. We would fill up like the whole dive boat. I mean, there would be like probably more than 20 of us drift diving along the walls at 330 feet. That's epic.
I love the reactions of people in Cozumel because it's really rare when you're a diver to see a rebreather diver, like one rebreather diver. It's hard. You go on dive trips after you don't see them. And then all of a sudden, we're in Cozumel, and there will be like open circuit divers there, like just waddling or whatever, doing their thing. And then all of a sudden, it's like 20 of us will go by our rebreathers, like a wall. They're like, "What is that?" Yeah, that was awesome. Those reactions were great. How deep are you all diving for the meetup? We have several divers that are newish, very new, so we're not gonna be going deep on that.
Yeah, these will be recreational depth wrecks. So no wrecks will be deeper than 130 feet, but I would tell you on average, it'll probably be between 60 and 100 feet, the dives.
Dylan is saying, "Come on, Woody, tell us the truth. Do aliens look like they do in the abyss?" Dude, I thought Dylan was a serious guy.
Dylan?
Honestly. But now,
have you ever
look at this.
Been face-to-face on a rebreather with a cuttlefish?
That's
looking at you, blinking its lights, which means it's talking to you, and then you talk back, and it starts blinking different colors as if it understands you.
This is the worst.
I would love you to experience that. And you know how you could experience that? Take my rebreather class. Call Steven. Beep, beep, beep. Bring your dive knife.
That's bring your dive
bring me
knife.
One.
Yes.
Bring your little friend one.
All right.
There's a little one, baby one, a baby knife for Woody.
I can't find the We're Not Worthy. How do I look it up? Yeah. So Brian shared some of the pictures of the We're Not Worthy rooms. I guess that's what you're talking about. That Woody mentioned earlier. They're on Facebook.
We're not worthy.
It's insanity.
That's the best word for those rooms.
Yeah. Do cuttlefish use Morse code? No.
They do
don't.
use a form of light communication. What code it is, well, from wherever their
Oh my
planet
God.
was, they developed that language, and they're super intelligent.
Okay. Are you coming to the UK? We would love to. We would love to go to the UK.
Oh, watch, here's a fellow Kiss Spirit and Kiss Sidewinder diver.
Really?
From Ozark 44. They are like us. We all dive, both the Kiss Spirit and the Kiss Sidewinder. Yes, we do agree. We think they're among the best in the business. I know we're biased. There's a lot of other amazing rebreather brands, but man, it just, when I go to some of these rebreather events and I always see the Kiss units working, it's really something. Okay, Al, that's a lot of kisses you're giving me. I know. She probably like.
Let's
very
see.
patient with me. Okay.
Do you guys ever dive oxygen rebreathers? Oxygen only rebreathers, no. Like the Dragers and stuff. I haven't done that.
Yeah.
Do you also talk to lionfish? All right, guys, let's move on from the fish stuff.
Well, I try to talk to lionfish, but I'm usually with Gus when I'm right when I'm starting the communication. The next thing I know, there's a spear
not a long
flying
conversation.
through its head, and I'm like, dude, I was just bonding, and now you just took that thing out.
Yeah, they're not long.
I mean, if there's even one remotely close, and I'm just, give me a second. I'm like,
Dead.
what? I mean, can you relax?
Yeah. Do you have an opinion on Mech rebreathers? Not really.
They're very good. I've seen some great videos on them, man.
Yeah,
People love them. They're big,
but I've never dived one.
Yeah, for me, they're too big. Like, they're just big units, and I'm, not that big of a guy.
Yeah. There's a really cool video. It's old school about Mech rebreathers. I contemplated for us to react to it, but I don't know if we would add a whole lot to the conversation. But basically, the owner of Mech Rebreathers goes down to 200 feet and starts literally cutting his rebreather like with a knife, like stabbing it to show how safe it is at 200 feet, 60 meters. He's poking holes in the counter lungs, chopping hoses, cutting his computer cable just to prove how reliable his rebreathers are. And it's pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's a really cool video. But, in order for those rebreathers to be that reliable that you can do all of that abuse to it and still work, they are massive. It's like diving with a refrigerator on your back.
Did I mention that I just absolutely love Kiss for many, many reasons? I mean, the more I think about it, I think I understate just the world you enter when you enter the Kiss rebreather dive world.
These questions aren't. Somebody, I just have to read them because they're here, but I should ignore them.
Oh, okay.
But somebody saying
for it.
They thought you were giving away your diamond at 100,000 subscribers.
I brought it.
What are they talking about?
It's in my car. I forgot.
No.
By the way, knowing that I was going to be doing this live today, I brought when we sucked for gold, I brought the nuggets that we sucked and the diamond that I found. Yes, you saw the video where Amos, he's an Israeli diamond dealer. Of course he's going to negotiate like that with me. That's what they do.
That was embarrassing.
So I have that diamond, and that may be something that we present to the video winner.
Oh my God.
I've got that, baby. And a lot of the other stuff I sucked.
Yeah. Carl is asking, escape from 0 to 100, what is the percentage of caves that have ever been explored? I have no idea.
I would say a tiny fraction of the world's caves.
Yeah.
The great cave explorers who will tell us we have seen the tip of the iceberg, probably.
Somebody's saying for the next meetup, we should do a liveaboard trip.
Yeah, that would be cool. I do want to do a rebreather liveaboard trip, though. I do. I mean, imagine that.
I think he's talking about regular.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you on Facebook, man. I told you the We Are Not Worthy rooms are just incredible.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Is it safer to dive with a full face mask or a regular regulator? I mean...
You mean a regular mask, not a regulator. Well, listen, a full face mask is specialized training. So I think there are some additional inherent risks diving with a full face mask that you need to be trained on to learn.
Yep.
How to deal with.
Yep.
What video winner? For those of you coming on now, and I'm glad you asked that actually, because we have new users scrolling through. Why don't you re-announce what we're going to do for the 100,000 celebration? Because there's a lot of people who weren't on when we talked about it.
Yep. So for those of you who joined after we announced the contest and the prize for 100,000, the contest that we're running for this giveaway is we want people to submit ideas for original dive talk videos. So you'll basically be writing up an idea like, I think this will make an amazing dive talk video with Woody and I involved or whoever. And we will put those ideas, or the best ideas, we're going to put them to a vote. And then the members of the channel will then select the winner. The winner gets to come here, or whatever this idea is going to be filmed, and be on the video with us, or help us shoot the video if you don't want to be in camera or whatever. You get to be involved from beginning to end, make this video possible. So we'll fly you in, pay for your lodging, your food, all of that, and you will get to spend a weekend with us or whatever long it takes to record this video. And that will be the prize for first place. And again, we have a few other prizes for the idea that comes in second or third or whatever, but the first prize is not this diamond. It will be to come here and shoot this video with us.
And we have to put some caps. So on the airfare, we said up to $1,000. Some of you may be coming from overseas, but we need the video, whatever your idea is, if it wins, to be able to be done in the U.S. So you'll be with us. It may take a few days. We're going to go on a road trip together. So if we pop open a live stream during that road trip, you're on it with us.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So I think it'll be really fun days together, and you're going to get what you see, because this is who we are.
By the way, Dylan, who was already here, and I feel like he's using me to get to you.
Knife dive guy?
Yeah.
From
Fletcher Knife.
Little baby one for Woody.
Dylan, I don't know if he's still watching, but Dylan knows some sketchy places, like Chernobyl guy's sketchy level. And he says we should go there.
We like sketch.
Well, no, let's take it easy. Like
Dylan.
This guy knows some places that are like insanity. So
he'll bring his knives. Which will be safety.
Knives.
I'm saying
you
for
think
safety.
Knives are gonna protect you, or
that guy with a knife?
No.
Can you imagine his knife skills?
Don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
I mean, can you imagine this guy probably?
No. This is the places this guy knows about are like scary, dude. Like,
will I be equipped with a little?
No,
one?
Dude. An arsenal.
Now I'm really want to go to the sketchy Fletcher knife place. Badly. I do.
God. All right. So we're looking forward to ideas. We'll see where that goes. Some people want to see, beginning to end. Once again, I will be, we have shot some of that content, and we'll be releasing it on the channel as well. Great content. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. I want dips on a Fletcher knife. Well, good luck finding one. They're hard to get. Very special. Gus called my comment stupid. I don't remember calling comment stupid.
And I'm still what?
No, I don't think I call comment stupid.
Well,
no, unless no.
That's possible.
That's highly unlikely.
I've heard the S word slide out here and there, but no, I don't think he meant that to you guys.
Yeah, Gus, I'm from Argentina. I hope to dive with you someday. Yes, let's do it. We'd love to dive in Argentina.
I love Argentina, man. That is,
and I've never been, but I would love to go.
Buenos
Aires. Hopefully the
city.
Pumas are playing. I get to see some rugby.
You will love this. I'm not kidding you. When I went there, steak is
everywhere.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm not kidding you. So imagine like Chops level steak, and they're like, oh, it's $6, and they're massive. And then you go for a cookout that night, steak.
Absolutely.
It's just every meal, and they're delicious.
I might stay. This is perfect.
No, it's unbelievable. I loved Argentina.
That's awesome. And we should go for sure. Is Chernobyl Part 4 coming soon? You should be a member. That's all I'm saying.
Member, yeah. Okay.
You should be a member.
A lot of people ask this question about, hey, Gus and Woody, I've recently started watching your content, and I'd like to start my scuba cert. Do you have any idea how much I need to save up? It's all over the board. If you want to get a full set of open circuit gear, it's all over the board, but you should plan on probably between $3,000 to $5,000. I think that's a fair estimate.
Yep. Is there a way to dive if you can't equalize your ears? Probably not. But it's hard to. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that they can do it, but there's several ways to do it, and most people get through it.
Yeah, most people overcome it. The eustachian tubes will loosen up, and there are some exercises that will help you do it. Don't judge equalizing by a swimming pool.
Right.
That is the hardest place to clear your ears. It's much easier in open water, and the deeper you go, the easier it is.
Oh, yeah.
A rebreather live aboard in Egypt? I mean...
Sounds awesome.
Sure sounds great. Yeah.
Yep. How can you financially support your diving activities? Working. We both have jobs, and we get to dive once in a while. Let's see. Who else? Heidi says that I have alien eustachian tubes.
Eustachian.
Eustachian? All right. Fine. No, I don't have alien ones, but I have pretty awesome ones, so I don't have to equalize ever.
Connor Crane
great.
just became a toe dipper.
Awesome.
Man, we appreciate that. Yep, Rudy. From everything I know about myself, I do believe I am part fish. I feel like I relate better underwater to marine life than I do to humans on the surface.
Yeah. How does annual or routine maintenance compare between rebreathers and a typical recreational open circuit gear setup? I mean, it's pretty similar. It's just that a lot of the maintenance we do on the rebreathers by cleaning the unit right after a dive is something that you actually learn and do several times during your class. Your first class is to maintain your rebreather, but there's still, first stage regulators and stuff that should go through service just like regular open circuit regulators.
Wow, Thomas.
Wow.
Super chat. So he said, please tell me we will do some lionfish hunting at the meetup. You absolutely can bring a zookeeper and a spear. We will. The shallower dives, though, a lot of the lionfish have been hunted, but you'll see them when we're drifting. So the answer is absolutely.
And good luck. Good luck beating me to it.
Thank you, T. Bennett, for congratulating us and giving us the super chat. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
We always do a live stream from the same location. I'm not following you. You know that, right?
He's being snarky.
Oh, because remember he just passed me a bag of Doritos and I ate them?
Yeah. Let's see.
Roaring River is just down the road from me. Yep, we are coming. That is scheduled. I don't want to announce the date because Mike puts a limit on how many people are going to be there. And in fact, Mike said he has a very special role for me. He just messaged me recently.
Really?
And he said, I will need my helmet for this role that he built me.
That's funny.
So I don't know.
He just told me you can come too. That's it.
Yeah, you'll be there.
So
yeah,
he was like, you have special role. I'm going to make you a helmet. You'll be right by me, whatever.
Support.
And then he looked at me and he was like, you can come
surface. We need surface support. I mean, I'm just saying you got to have surface support. But I'm glad you'll be there.
Am I a joke to you? All right.
That was an awkward silence. Do I love diving with you? I mean, come on.
Have you ever been stung by a lionfish? Not yet.
How about Mike? Oh, you weren't there. So I'm lionfish hunting with Mike in Mexico. We get back on the boat.
Get some.
He's like, I got stung by the lionfish. Yeah. His finger is this big, dude. It's like expanding in front of me. So.
Hold on, because there were a couple of other super chats. Okay. T. Bennett is saying, did JetBlue ever make it right?
Wait, I put in a long appeal and documentation, waiting to hear.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
What's that one from James?
James, another super chat. Did y'all get a response from the super diver about the video where he's supposed to be training lifeguards, but he's really just beating them up? No, we haven't heard from that guy. I'm not sure if there's a whole lot that we would need to hear from him, to be honest.
That was crazy.
He's just
wasn't
beating
it?
people up.
I don't know what he
It's the
thought
worst.
that was going to accomplish.
Yeah, that guy was the worst. You started watching-
Rental gear is available during the meetup. Absolutely. We would want you to let Jimmy know ahead of time, or you could email us and we'll let Jimmy know. He'll get in touch with you and you would arrange all that rental gear through him. He will take care of everything.
Yeah, they have a full-on shop. And again, we're not organized. I mean, we organize the dates and stuff to get together, but all of the diving and all that stuff, it's organized by actual vendors that are doing this and do it for a living. So they're way better than us at that. So the answer is yes. Thank you, Tori, for joining. When you go cave diving, do you always wear a helmet? No, I've never worn a helmet diving, actually.
Yep, this chair is very comfortable. Very nice.
Yep. Let's see. Gabriel, shout out to Gabriel from the Philippines. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank
It's
you.
Woody's chair, as comfortable as he looks.
Yep.
Very,
very nice.
And he never leans backwards, but that chair like almost lays all the way back, like where you can lay down. But that would be kind of awkward to do a show like that.
Oh.
That's
Well,
don't. That's
never ever tell me.
how do you?
Oh my god, my new show position.
This is
I gotta
so
stretch them.
Dude,
Oh, what's up, everybody?
What is this?
This is unbelievable.
What are you doing? You're
I can't believe. Hold.
tearing the studio
Whoever.
apart.
Okay, remember, I would photocopy that person.
Oh my
Feet
god.
up.
What?
New show position. What's up, everybody? This is amazing. I had no idea.
This is ridiculous.
If during the live streams you see this with my eyeballs, if you see this,
Okay. How can they
I'm
take us
listening.
seriously?
I'm listening and talking,
Oh my
but I'm
God.
resting my eyes at the same time.
This is.
This is very relaxing. This is unbelievable. I have a new show position.
Do either of your wives scuba dive? No, none of my wives scuba dive. I don't know why.
One of my three do, and she's amazing at it. The one that, she was really good
Yeah.
at it.
No, the answer is no. Which is, by the way,
Go ahead.
I'm not like bummed out that she doesn't dive because I would be carrying all the gear, setting everything up.
Like
so
I do with my daughters.
I'm kind of happy.
Is it going to be back mount or will side mount be an option? I mean, if you have the gear for side mount, no problem. No problem. Just, and again, Jimmy, who will be operating the dives, absolutely side mount is fine.
Yeah.
You can dive whatever you want.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I can't believe what I just discovered. God, I need you to build one more thing though.
Oh my
A
god.
ledge, right?
Yeah.
About there.
Wow.
Foot ledge.
This
is amazing. I just want to cuddle up back here with.
Nobody's gonna take it seriously now.
Nobody would want to cuddle up with me right here. Is that what you just said?
Sure, let's go with that. How has your life changed after doing YouTube? I mean, we're doing the same thing we used to do.
I'm much more serious. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, except we now have to edit videos.
What are the dates
constantly.
for the meetups? Can you repeat the dates?
Yeah, April 28th through May 2nd. There you go. April 28th through May 2nd. It's a Thursday to a Monday. What's the biggest shark you've ever dived with besides a whale shark? I mean, the bull sharks we saw in Florida were...
They can be pretty big,
massive.
huh? And
Yeah.
girthy.
Yeah, they were big, big boys. Or girls, I don't know.
Muscular.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell they have claspers, but yeah, there's some big ones out
I
there.
didn't have a chance to detail that. You guys think that Chernobyl divers didn't make it out alive? Probably. No, they posted an update. They're all out of Ukraine. They're safe. The biggest problem I think they were talking about was that their Russian channel, because obviously their main language is Russian in Ukraine and Ukrainian, and they, YouTube, along with a lot of companies and a lot of websites, Google, obviously, that owns YouTube, they basically shut down monetization for all Russian channels.
Excuse me, I was going to ask for one quick thing.
Oh my God, dude,
You have
this
a blanket?
is serious. No.
Just a little blankie.
No.
It's a little.
So anyway, so they were kind of talking about that their main way to make a living has been shut down.
Dude, this is serious.
Heidi's laughing that you said girthy. I don't know. I think she has the same thought process as you.
I don't even know what that possibly could mean, but
Yeah.
okay. I'm thinking about a thick
That's
shark.
A thick shark. Yeah, that's the
That's
the official terminology.
Yeah.
Have you guys done any diving in the Philippines? I have not. I've never been to the Philippines. Would love to though.
Yeah, listen, I mean, people are commenting on the war. We've been staying away from it. I want to stay away from it. Are
Absolutely.
we sad? Are we concerned? Are we, yes, I've donated money. I've promoted people who are trying to raise money for that, and
Yeah.
it's really tough situation. We're very fortunate.
Yeah. Super Susan, a few others on their way out. Yep. So those are the Kyrgyzstan guys. Let's see. Do we have special fins for caves? No, they're not special. They're just my fins.
I do. Do have special fins for caves. I use the Deep 6 Eddy fins.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing because they're light, so it can keep my feet floaty, but you don't lose any power. I love them. Introduced to them by the owner of Deep 6, and Cave Adventurers also is a dealer in those.
Let's see. Please do a react video on Fish Rock Cave. I'm not sure where that is. What is the one thing that has happened while diving that you can't explain? I mean, I have an answer for this one, but I don't know if you want me to dig into it. Nothing like that I would say it's like ghosts or anything. It's always just something funny that I cannot explain. Like the last funny thing that happened was with Woody. Once again, I talked earlier that there's something that we do at 20 feet that, we have to check that our rebreather is in working condition, but on the surface, there's not enough pressure for us to do the check. So we go to 20 feet and do it. So we start this dive and I go down to 20 feet. And Woody, I want you to explain what happened.
Oh.
I go down, hold on. Let me just tell it from my vantage point.
Even I have to laugh at myself.
Let me just tell it from my vantage point. So I go to 20 feet, stop right at 20 to do my checks. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I see somebody just falling out of the sky, like falling, and just passes right next to me, like trying to grab sticks, rocks, like whatever on the way down. And he just keeps going down, and I'm like, well, that
just happened, right? Because normally I'm like gliding down. I mean, I have a lot of control. Let me explain, please. God. We're entering this cave, okay? And remember, Brian Kakuk is with us. Thank goodness he wasn't ready yet. I was just going to come down to the 20-foot spot and bring the O2. So I have an extra giant tank with me. My low-pressure inflator hose became disconnected, and I could not inflate my BCD. So I'm flying down out of control to the 20-foot spot.
Oh, my God.
I mean, Gus is like, dude, slow down. So I'm like, slow down. Dude, I just need to hit bottom to it's like an earthquake. And it was like, what happened? I'm like, hold on.
Oh, my God.
Finally, I reconnect. He's laughing next to me. And I get back under control. I mean, if I don't have any air in my BCD and I'm carrying an extra giant O2 tank that's full and I got the rebreather and everything else, I was out of control.
Dude, I just remember I had to hang on, grab a rock to laugh. Like I couldn't.
That was hilarious.
I couldn't even keep my depth.
I was laughing at myself because I'm like, get out of the way as I'm coming towards Gus. And I'm sure he thought, yeah, you're gliding pretty fast. But obviously, Woody, you're going to slow down, right? I'm like, move,
dude,
move.
That was the funniest thing. So, yeah, I could not explain what that was. Like, it was nothing that I would say that was ghost or anything. It always involves Woody doing some shenanigans. Oh my God. Let's see.
That's what experience will get you.
All right, Thomas made another super chat. Thank you. I think at one point you said your RK3s are positive. Is that right? I have a pair and they're pretty negative. Just seem crazy that they're opposites. So there's two kinds of RK3s, and somebody pointed this out to me. There's the high density ones, or HDs for short, which apparently people own to dive with dry suits because they don't want their feet to be floaty, which I don't understand. I'm like, that's the one thing we love about dry suit diving is that our feet are floaty, so it's easy to keep your trim in caves. But anyway, Apex makes them heavy if you're diving on a dry suit. And then they make the regular RK3s, which are the ones that I dive. And I know in one video I announced that I dive the HDs. I was wrong. I dive the regular ones. The regular ones are not as heavy, and they are actually neutral to positive. Like if you put them down, I don't know, 2 feet on the water and let go, they will get to the surface, but very, very slowly. It's not like a cork that goes up automatically. They just little by little by little get to the surface. So they're a little bit positive. So you probably have the HDs. The high density ones. All right. Don't take this the wrong way, but being a bigger guy, have you had any close calls, cave, or technical shipwreck diving? Not really. I mean, I have gotten stuck a few times, but it's never really a close call because the difference with dry caving, for example, is that you have gravity working against you. You can actually like fall down into a hole and get wedged in. Like the guy from the Naughty Putty Cave, for example. That guy wouldn't have died if he was cave diving because he didn't have the speed to fall down and get wedged too hard. Plus, he wouldn't have the gravity working against him. Like he could have inflated his dry suit or his wing as much as possible, and he's actually going to be, pulling back out of the hole that he was in. Or like what happened to Arrow Ralston with that rock that fell in his arm and he had to cut his arm off, which is that movie they made with James Franco. That thing, it's not as easy for something like that to happen inside a cave because you have water, right? Could it happen? Sure, but it's not that dangerous, I guess.
People are asking, would we ever explore a cave if it was with Mike or Ed? And yes.
Tomorrow.
That's a different story when you're with guys that have that level of experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Love your channel, Dom. Thank you so much for the super chat as well. Keep going. Thank you.
I loved Kona, the diving in Hawaii at Kona. Amazing. All the volcanic rock made for some very interesting diving. There's sea snakes and the manta rays were incredible there.
Yeah, somebody says, is there any else similar to the Chernobyl videos that you can react to that are really crazy like that? I'm sure there's many, but they don't involve diving. I mean, the guys that do the Chernobyl videos have even crazier videos that are not involving water or Chernobyl or diving whatsoever. And they are very entertaining. We subscribe to them. I watched their videos. Like they did one recently where they're testing like this big fireworks. And they are sitting like 10 feet from them. I'm like, dude. You guys are going to die. So, yeah, they make crazy videos, but we don't react to videos that are not really related to diving or caves, typically. And that's a question that we got. It's like, hey, if I have a video that is not related to diving, would you react to it if it was really funny or whatever? And he was like, well, I don't know. Do people want to see us react to videos that don't involve diving? Like, we're experts in diving. We're not experts in other stuff. I don't know. We wouldn't be able to provide a whole lot of expertise outside of laughing and, talking about how crazy that was. All right, Tim,
Thanks,
thank
Tim.
you for being a member for 6 months. I think I saw another question somewhere.
Thanks, Florida Fire, for the super chat. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Do you two dudes ever dive in the Canary Islands? No, I've never been to The Canary Islands in Spain, although I've been to Spain several times.
Been to Spain.
Love Mallorca, by the way.
Especially the snow skiing there was epic, but haven't dove there.
Yeah. Let's see. I feel like I saw something else. One time, by the way, I got stuck following Mike in Cozumel. He went through 2 walls of coral, and he went just fine, and I did not.
Well, that means there's a problem with the coral now.
Obviously, I got stuck.
And the coral is now dead.
And the coral got destroyed. No, I just pushed back and went up a little bit where it was wider, and I went through. But, yeah, trying to follow Mike through restrictions is not a good idea.
Yeah, I actually enjoy doing that.
Yeah. Gus, what do you do for work? Several people have asked what do we do for work. I'm an IT consultant. I work with IT. We need more vlogs. See, people want to see us travel and stuff, man, and record our adventures.
Yeah, some do, but the vlogs didn't do that well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We got to think about that.
Do you ever go snorkeling? I do. Yeah. I mean, when I go on cruises with my kids, they enjoy going snorkeling, and I love taking them, you know. I love watching over them.
Have you ever flooded a rebreather? In the very beginning, when I first dove it, I pinched an O-ring when I was putting on the head, and it flooded, and it became very hard to breathe, and I bailed out, and it ruined my sensors.
Yikes. Where did the love for pink gear come from, Woody?
I'm glad you can't sleep, Robin.
That's the answer?
No. I've posted this a number of times, so I don't really like to answer it in a verbally. But I've posted it. You're welcome to message me or send an email to info@divetalk, and I'll give you my written response because there's really a lot to it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's a special connection to the pink collar. Somebody says, how was it drive back after getting stranded? Did you get a refund? So there's something interesting about this story, right?
On it.
So we left the Fort Lauderdale airport, and the idea was it was 11 p.m. We're like, look, it's like 10 hours, 9 hours to drive back to Atlanta. Let's just drive like a couple hours because I don't go to sleep until late anyway. I go to sleep at like 1 a.m., you know, something like that. So I'm like, I'll just drive for like a couple hours. Maybe we can make it to Orlando, which is like 2.5 hours away, 3 hours away, and stay in Orlando. There's a million hotels in Orlando. Let's just go. So we start driving, and we cannot find a hotel in Orlando. Not a single room anywhere. I think Woody found one room, which was $16,000 for a night at the what was
not
that?
joking.
Four Seasons or
$16,000.
Yeah,
at the St. Regis in
St.
South
Regis.
Florida,
bananas,
and nothing else anywhere.
Yeah,
else.
so we were like, okay, forget it. So we keep trying Hotels.com, call the Marriott line, the Hilton, like every chain of hotels, and cannot find a single hotel room in Orlando. Nothing. So then we're like, okay, well, I'll drive an extra hour. I'll just keep battling. Let's do it. Let's go to Ocala, Florida. Cannot find a single room in Ocala. Then I was like, okay, how about Gainesville, which we were gonna have to drive until like 3:30 in the morning to get to Gainesville, Florida. Cannot find a single room in Gainesville. So at some point, I was just like, you know what?
But how about the app? The Marriott app tells me, hey, there's a room available. We call the rep, the reservation number. Yep, a room available. We get to 2 rooms available. We get to the hotel. Oh, that's broken. The reservation system's broken. Nothing.
Sold out.
At that point.
Yeah. At 3:30, 4 a.m., I just said, you know what? I don't have to like it. I just have to do it. Let's drive home. So I drove all the way to 8 a.m. overnight.
I can't say that my eyes didn't close at times.
No, I can.
No, most of the time they were open.
Dude.
But sometimes I rested just my eyes. I wasn't sleeping.
Yeah.
My eyelids were tired. Like right now. I'm up, but my eyelids hurt.
Yeah. No, So anyway, we drove all the way home.
I would love to have a blanket, but this is amazing. Somebody told me this chair leans back. My feet are up. Can't believe I discovered this position.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you plan to do a reaction about the Plura Cave disaster? Man, we've never got that question.
All the time. Yes, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I got at least 10 emails today about it and messages on Instagram and stuff and people suggesting it. We do want to do a reaction. The biggest issue with that is, and I've answered this before, the main story is on a documentary that if we include the documentary as part of the reaction, we'll get shut down for copyright and the video will never be live. They will never be available. This has happened before. We actually just won a copyright battle.
I can't believe we won that, by the way.
I cannot believe
That's
it.
amazing.
From a video we recorded back in December. So since December, we've been fighting with YouTube and the owners of the content because we use a snippet.
You're going to love this video.
Of a full documentary thing. And I mean, it was really, really tough. Some of them we've lost, meaning we spent hours recording a video, editing it, all of that stuff, and then we post it, and it never makes the light of day. This one we happen to win. It's actually Monday's video next week. So a week from now, you'll get to see it.
It's really cool. I've been waiting for this one to come out.
Right. But the Plura Cave disaster is one of those where I feel like we would spend hours and hours and hours recording and editing it and putting it together, and then it will never see the light of day. So hopefully we find a way to do this. I think the best way is probably to somehow get in touch to the guys who were involved in the dive, in the accident and all of that, and then have them on the show. That will be the best way to do it, but that's also the hardest way to do it.
I agree. We both ride Indian motorcycles.
Yep.
Hey,
Indian
James,
Scout
for
Bombers.
the super chat, this is why you need some friends who drive tractor trailers. Yeah, that's true. We've been talking about someday having our own sleeper vehicle, but we got a ways to go for that.
Yes.
With soundproof walls, I'm just saying. Snoring that comes through
This is
walls
why,
is
right.
kind of
That's TMI.
Hurts my ears.
This is why you need some friends who drive tractor trailers. Always have an extra bed. Yeah, that's true. We were driving by all these trailers and we're like, oh man, those guys are sleeping so nice right now. Yeah. But anyway.
Give up diving or motorcycles. That's for
motorcycles
me in 2
tomorrow.
seconds. Motorcycle.
And I love motorcycles. By the way.
I mean, it's not even like
Not
for
gonna
me.
give up diving.
Zero choice there, son.
Yeah.
I would give up.
Anything.
Well, I gotta be careful, right? There are family
What are
members.
you thinking? What are you thinking, bro?
No, I mean my wife's Amy, and I like her.
Yeah.
But my rebreathers are incredible.
Yeah, it's hard.
What is the end game of scuba? Death? I mean, I don't want to. When I'm no longer on Earth, I guess that's when I end scuba. I don't have an end game.
What's the gas prices near you guys? I have no idea.
They're about $4 now, but we both drive a Tesla.
Yeah, we both drive Tesla. So.
A super chat from, does that say Bing? What's the scariest sea creature? Well, the most deadly is actually...
It's like an octopus, right?
The most deadly is a box jellyfish, and the second is the blue ring octopus.
Yeah. I would like to see an oarfish. I think that would be scary at first, but then it will be epic.
For me, the craziest fish I ever saw, I've told you before, was in the Galapagos, a mola sunfish. Crazy looking.
If you guys
thing.
haven't seen an oarfish, check that out. How do you spell oar? O-A-R? Oarfish?
I don't know. I'd have to Google it.
But check it out. You know that you found it when you found it. I'll just say that. What watches do you guys wear?
Tarek dive computer.
Shearwater.
Shearwater.
I have a couple different ones. So I kind of, depending on the mood. My favorite watch, by the way, maybe this will come out in a show once where this will be a question. You guys have the answer. You got the scoop. My favorite, absolute favorite watch is my Casio calculator watch. Like the one Dwight wears in the office. That's actually my favorite watch. I love wearing that thing.
There's my pink Tarek with pink inside of it as well.
All right.
By the way, it's still on 64% battery. I have not charged it in about a month. Incredible, Shearwater. The battery changes that you've done.
Somebody says, you mean the blue ring alien? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that is what I mean. That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah. Let's see. I've noticed that calculator watch is awesome. I know.
Somebody just typed the oarfish for you.
Yeah. Go check that out after the stream, or in another tap or something. You'll be blown away.
I've never been scared cave diving.
You ever seen an oarfish?
No, I've never. I don't think I've seen one alive.
Dude, I'll show you right now.
Okay,
Sure.
and the Shangri-La video, which we would love you guys to watch. Was I scared? I was stuck, but I was not scared. It was a really weird sense of calmness and just concentration. And we had a plan for what we would do when we get stuck because we knew we would be stuck.
Check that out.
I don't think I've seen one of those guys diving, but that would be cool.
Yeah, let me show the guys so they can see it. Hold on. Let me see. How do I do this?
So right now I can't.
So if I go here, hold on. I need to make this work. Hold on. So now it's black, right? Now they should be able to see our screen. So this is an oarfish. Check that out. Sometimes they wash ashore. Crazy looking, right? So imagine seeing one of these things on an actual dive. That would be amazing. I think Jonathan Bird, by the way, captured one of these. Look how long they are.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. But they are like deep water fish. Look how big they are. They're deep water fish, so they're like thousands of feet underwater. But sometimes they get lost or whatever, and people have been able to see them. But it's like very, very, very extremely rare.
Look at all the commentary about can they predict earthquakes. That's something I'll have to read about that. Yeah, a lot of the pictures you brought up are saying they can predict earthquakes.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, look at that thing. Wow. Yeah, they're super cool. And I mean, if I saw one of these guys.
I don't like seeing that fishing line in them like that. That's terrible.
If I see one of these things, I'm going to freak out. Look at that thing. Awesome. All right, let's see if I can fix this. Hold on. P1, then that, and we're back on. How about that?
Do you put my screen back on?
Yeah, we have some,
there we go.
Production values over here at Dive Talk.
I was busy over here doing some stuff as well on my chair. That's leaned back with my feet up. My eyes were not like this while you were doing that.
People are like, that's a no for me, dog. They don't want to see an oarfish. What do you mean? Of course you want to see an oarfish. It's the best thing ever. Mola molas will be cool too, but mola molas are easier to find. Oarfish, not that common. All right, let's see. Jeremy Wade filmed 201s.
A lot of people are asking about what is the requirement to become cave certified. Like what minimum level do I have to have? Every dive agency is slightly different, and you can talk to a cave instructor about what agency they teach cave for and what requirements they have. But there is not like, no, you don't have to be a dive master, for example, before becoming cave certified. It's not typically like that. They're typically going to care about how many hours of diving you have. Probably 100-hour minimum.
Do you want to do a collab with the Chernobyl guys? That would be awesome. I mean, I would love, like, and I don't control what these guys do or anything like that, but I just imagine taking those maniacs to Disney World. I mean, think about that video. It would be insane.
Unbelievable.
It would be worse than Chernobyl.
They may try to get off the ride. You know they're going to try to get off the ride.
Don't scare the kids.
That they're literally going to climb out of the ride.
Yeah. So anyway, we told those guys, if you ever come to the U.S., let's get together because I have some ideas. Have you ever dove Paradise Springs in Florida?
Just got back from it.
Yes.
I taught a class there last week, and I love the whole environment. The fact that it's in like somebody's backyard, and it's really beautiful as you're coming back up and looking at the surface. Anyway, I was just there, literally on Wednesday.
Somebody asked if it's possible to get certified by either one of us. By both of us, I guess, or either one of us when it comes to open water diving. If it's for rebreathers, Woody's a rebreather instructor. I'm not. He can certify you on the Kiss Spirit Rebreather. So depending on what you're trying to do, like neither one of us are cave instructors, for example. So we wouldn't be able to certify you as a cave diver. But we know some amazing instructors that we can refer you to. But regular scuba diver, yes, either one of us. Have you ever dove the blue hole in New Mexico? No, I have not.
That's one hole
Or the one in Belize.
I cannot wait to get into, man.
Yeah. The one in Belize sounds cool, too.
So glad to hear that. People that are saying they're starting scuba because of us. That's one of my favorite comments, Marco.
Somebody says, have you ever considered diving with crocodiles? No. Because that would be crazy.
It happens, though. When you're diving some caves in certain areas, there can be either alligators or crocs. In the water, the crocs, of course, are more aggressive, so we're not deliberately looking to dive with them.
This is a good question, but I know it's going to go into a spiral. Were you good students during school times, like when we were going to school? So I'll just say for me, I was never a really like applied student. Meaning if I really applied myself, if I really took it seriously, I would have probably been like a really good student. But I was like, I don't know. We have a different system to score where I'm from in Venezuela. We score in numbers, not in letters or whatever. But I think, you know, we have the 0 to 20 scale, and I was like a 15, whatever, student. But I never studied. I just showed up to the test and took them, and I passed. I guess that would be like a C or a B minus. I don't know, like a C student, I would say, here in the U.S. So if I had studied and applied myself, I probably would have been an A student. I just never did that.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky. I went to an experimental high school, but I did go to college on a full academic scholarship. I guess SATs, I scored really, really high, and I did not have to pay for any of my. I went to the University of South Carolina because they gave me a full academic scholarship.
Nice.
So that was pretty fortunate that way.
What is the longest time you've been on the water? For me, 3 hours and 1 minute. Have you ever dived the Great Lakes? I have not, but Woody has.
Pretty cool, both in temperature and in the pristineness of the wrecks. Dry suit for sure with heater and dry gloves.
Yeah. All right, so we're approaching the 2.5 hour mark. We have 2 minutes. So let's see if we can answer some more questions, and then we're going to wrap it up, guys. Once again, encouraging everyone to participate on the 100,000 subscriber content because a lucky winner will get to come and meet us.
I can't believe we're at 100,000. I'm still trying to digest that.
I can't believe we're at 100,584. That's the count right now. Is that awesome?
Fly today.
I wish we could just stay live until we hit 101,000. That would be cool.
We can't.
We hit two of them, but we can't. That would be a long, long live stream. But yeah, let's see if we answer a couple more questions, and then we will wrap it up. Woody, what's the longest you've been on the water? What's your longest dive?
Hang on, I forget.
I only remember because I just did it like 10 days ago. Woody has said he has daughters who also dive. Do your kids dive, Gus, or are they too young? So my 2 oldest kids are the only ones that are in enough age to learn how to dive. Neither one of them want to learn. My daughter, my oldest one, she's going to be 15 this year. She tried it, and she was like, that was cool, but not something that she wants to do like in the ocean or whatever. She did it in a pool. She was like, that was cool. My youngest, who's 9, I just finished this. My youngest, who's 9, wants to learn. So hopefully he's the last hope.
Awesome. My longest dive that I have logged here is 209 minutes.
That's awesome.
Which was at Innerspace in the Caymans.
Yeah, 209
and
minutes. And
that particular dive was at 366 feet. That particular one. That's why it was the longest. I probably racked up a lot of deco.
Nice. What are the dates of the meetup? April 28th to May 2nd. April 28th to May 2nd. Are you going to do any more Chernobyl videos? I mean, like I said, we will react to the ones they make. So we'll see when more come out, and we'll do it. Do you guys know any famous cave dives in Europe? Yeah, there's a city in Europe, I think it's Budapest, that is sitting on top of like a massive, massive cave system with warm water, by the way.
We're going to go.
Yeah, we should do a European tour, that's for sure. Robin says she's going to be old school during the meetup with a paper log.
Where, April
problem.
28th? It's in Lauderdale by the Sea.
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale, which it's at Ocean Treasure is the hotel. And, yeah, if you email us, Gus can send you all the info. info@divetalk.com.
Yep. Let's see. What else?
We want to come. Don't worry, Mark.
One more question. One more question, and then we'll end it there. Says Europe is waiting. We want to go for sure. Let's see. Somebody says part 4 is already out. Please react to it soon. You should be a member. That reaction is already out for members. So please consider joining us as a member.
Thank you, Hayden.
And you'll be watching that reaction already.
Thank you for the super chat.
Congrats from Australia. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, Theo is saying I would have to travel to the U.S. to meet you on the 28th. Sure. Robin is coming all the way from Netherlands for that meetup. We're excited that she's coming.
We are, yeah, we want to do like a fan dive. I mean, again, these meetups are difficult. Because we can only at times have so many people just because of the dive operator.
Yep.
This is our first one. So in a way, it is a fan dive, if you will.
Yeah. Let's see.
Can you share the member link in the chat?
I could. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, the easiest way is once again clicking on the join button and just going straight there. So let me see if I can find this this link. Yep. Okay, so let me post it here. Sign in to chat. What do you mean? I'm signed in already. Okay. Here we go. So I just pasted the link for joining. I'm going to pin the message too.
Great.
We actually can just stay here and see this right here. So I think that was a really good question. To wrap it up, Woody, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add.
Nope.
Before we wrap it.
I just thank you again. I mean, honestly, I started off thanking you and thanking the viewers, the subscribers, and thank you very, very much.
Somebody's saying, see you at 1 million followers. Wow.
Thank you.
That would be
amazing.
That would be insane. I mean, I thought, obviously, 100,000 was crazy.
Yeah.
And to be honest, when I looked at if we hit a milestone last year, so 12 months ago, it was 375.
Wow.
So we were celebrating exactly 1 year ago on March 7th of 2021. We celebrated 375 subscribers.
Wow.
And now today we hit 100,000. So that was just, it's amazing to see that. I would have never imagined that was going to happen. So we really appreciate you guys. If you watch our videos and you haven't subscribed, some people are not convinced. They're like, I can always go and check him out and watch him. But you're missing out because some things we post on the community tab, which, you get to see if you're a subscriber. Obviously, some content is available just to members as well. So I definitely hope that you consider subscribing and helping us out because it really helps the channel. So
it does.
Looking forward to the entries, which I saw while we were doing this live stream. I see like poop, poop,
really?
poop, 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 poop. This thing's just popping up. Everybody with ideas. Looking forward to sorting through that and ultimately.
You want to make one final announcement on just the entry one more time, or no? Just to end it with that.
With what?
With announcing
the actual contest.
Yeah, just a lot of people probably join. Just one final announcement of the contest, and then we'll end.
Absolutely. So once again, the contest for 100,000 subscribers is simple. We want to get ideas for original videos, Dive Talk original videos, and the best idea that we get is going to win the opportunity to be flown here to the U.S. Or if you're within the U.S. to whatever location we're going to shoot the video, your video, the one you came up with, and you can be involved in it. You can either be a diver in it, you can be an extra, you can, direct the whole thing. Like we want you to be involved with it. And of course, like Woody said earlier, we do have some limitations as to, for example, airfare. Like if somebody wins from Thailand or something, maybe it would be hard to fly them in, or it would be too expensive. So up to $1,000. But once you're in the country, you'll stay with us wherever we go. We eat whatever. You're part of the team, and we're creating this video together. So the way you submit ideas is by emailing info@divetalk.com. So info@divetalk.com. We're going to run the contest up until March 24th. On March 24th, we're going to list the ideas that have been submitted, and we're going to let members select the winner, and that winner will be announced on April 1st.
That's going to be awesome. Thank you, everybody.
That's it.
We'll see you soon.
Absolutely.
And take care. Have a great night.